Hello, and welcome back to Xpwaste, where, if you haven't heard the news, RUNEFEST has officially been postponed to winter 2017. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I'm Michael, doing my best BirdFacts impression.
If you're new around here, we are a podcast that talks almost entirely about old school RuneScape. We tend to get on tangents. That's kind of our thing. It's RuneScape plus, like a new game plus, but still the same game.
Which means it's better.
Exactly.
Everyone knows New Game Plus is better. So
absolutely. It's the better cosmetics, It's what we're here for, honestly. If you're not new around here, RuneFest has been postponed.
It's gone. Well, it's not gone, but
it's essentially deleted. We don't know if it's deleted, but we also don't know what we're doing. So, yeah, that's like the news broke today. We are recording on Friday once again because this weekend is Father's Day.
I mean, it can
Father's
be
Day
Father's weekend.
It probably is Father's weekend
is
for a lot of dads out there, but it's Father's Day weekend here in the United States. And considering I have a dad and Michael has a kid, we opted to record a little bit early. That said, we did have to mix up our cadence a little bit. So Michael is doing his best BirdFacts impression this week. He's impersonating the BirdFacts from the critically acclaimed Guthix Rest Podcast.
I don't know about critically acclaimed. Well, it could be critically acclaimed, but it was definitely in the past tense.
And
I heard those guys. I heard those guys broke up. They don't post episodes anymore.
I heard they haven't posted an episode. Like I said, the long-awaited return of the Guthix Rest Podcast.
I hear that
it's kind of like Half-Life 3. It'll come one day, and it's going to break the internet when it does. But until then, we just have to sit and hope.
I don't know that the next episode of Guthix Rest is going to break the internet. I don't even remember which one it is. I'm going to be honest.
You guys hear about
I wouldn't know what it is, honestly, because I'm Michael and I don't have any of that information.
It'd be crazy. I think Michael is part of the recording booth people in Guthix Rest, though. So
yes,
he tunes in every week.
He does, in fact, tune in here and there. So, I mean, I tune in here and there.
Yep. I'm just going to keep that bit going the entire time. But yeah, we are mixing things up a little. We almost considered not doing an episode this week. And then I was in VC with some of the boys this morning, still doing drift net fishing because at the moment I am 296K away from 99, which I will have by the time this episode comes out. I was in VC with them this morning.
99? I'm assuming fishing or hunter?
Yeah, 99 fishing.
Okay.
I have only 96 hunter, but I've gone from 91 to 96 doing 96 to 99 fishing. So it's kind of insane. But
yeah, I've heard it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. We're hanging out in VC this morning, and one of the boys just says, RuneFest got canceled. And I went, RuneFest got fucking what? And sure enough, RuneFest got postponed due to Player One events laying off 90% of their staff.
Yeah, they're gone.
In May.
They're just out of there.
Yeah, which is so fucked.
It is extremely funny in an extremely fucked up way. Specifically for RuneFest, obviously everybody lost their job at Player One. That fucking sucks. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I find it incredibly amusing that Jagex had to, well, they didn't have to, but they did, and it was probably a financially good decision to remove their events team during COVID because what the fuck is their events team going to do? Twiddle their thumbs and walk around in circles?
Can't go outside,
So they don't have an events team anymore. And so then they're like, all right, well, we want to do RuneFest again. So, these guys are good at making events. We'll ask them for some help. And then that also just goes to shit. So, yeah, it is in a really fucked up way, kind of funny.
It's, I don't want to say it's perfectly on par for Jagex.
It is kind of perfectly on par for Jagex.
It's a little bit. It's I really want to take the day while Guthix Sleeps comes out, but because I have to take PTO for it, I'm really worried it's going to get delayed by a week, and I don't know why. I've never had this concern with a quest before.
Yeah, I don't think quests really have ever gotten delayed this close to launch, at least.
I think it's going to be fine, but I almost took the day off when they announced it earlier this week, and I was like,
Yeah, I was actually going to do that today. I forgot to.
But what if I request the day off and then they push it back a week? And I'm also working remote that Wednesday. I don't know,
I'm
but
gonna be an absolute rat. I'm probably gonna request the entire Wednesday through Friday and just say, "F you guys, I'm just gone the rest of the week."
just kill tormented demons all week long. I'm going on vacation, I think, about a week or so after that. So the quest comes out on the 10th, and then, damn, when am I going on vacation? It's July 10th. That's the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm going on vacation the next week after that. Maybe I can't take that day off. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, well, you know, worst case, if you're really wanting to do the quest, you can always be sick.
I did that for leagues. I did that for leagues, and it bit me in the ass harder than I think anything has ever bit me in the ass for. You know the story of how that happened?
I do not. I don't think I've heard this one.
So Leagues 4 was coming out right after I came back from surgery, and I didn't have like any PTO left at my old job because I used it all basically, with my like FMLA, didn't have anything left, right? And as soon as I told my boss that I was quitting the day I got back, and because I had a new job lined up, she started caring a lot about PTO. This is a woman who I would like walk into her office and be like, "Hey, I'm not going to be here this date." And she would not even look at me and go, "Cool, leave me a note." And I would, and it wouldn't even be a problem. So like I mentioned something about PTO, and she's like, "Oh, you probably have like very little left, if any at all." I'm like, "Okay, cool. So you're starting to track it because you're mad at me. That's perfectly fine." So I thought of this grand master plan to get my COVID shot and my flu shot on the same day, because just in case for some reason, if I needed a doctor's note, I could get the receipts from CVS. It's like, no, I actually got the shots. And like, I'm just feeling too sick to go to work, because I've never had a problem. I get flu shots, I get COVID shots. It's never been an issue for me. I've never felt sick afterwards. I got the shots on the Tuesday before leagues, called off sick Wednesday morning. Leagues comes out. I play leagues for like 18 hours straight. It's a fantastic day. Thursday rolls around, the second day of leagues. I think it is the second sickest I have felt in a long time. I felt so shitty that day that I actually had to leave work early the day after leagues came out, because I just couldn't do it. I was literally dying, like falling asleep at my desk, like nauseous, just feeling absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I think I had just about the same reaction to the COVID shot. Like the day after, I was chilling, and then the day after that, I just fucking died. It was just over for me.
The COVID shot itself didn't do me in. None of my vaccinations or boosters ever did that. The fact that they're like, "Oh, you can get both at the same time," only if you fucking hate yourself. Do not get both shots at the exact same time, because my body, which has been relatively okay, it could not handle it. That absolutely threw me for a loop. So the last time I called off sick on a Wednesday for a RuneScape thing really bit me in the ass. And I have a lot of PTO, so I'll probably just take a day off naturally,
Fair. Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten a flu shot. And I've also like never gotten the flu. So
I have to.
Yeah,
I have to get flu
I know
shots.
the genetics be like that. Some people are like crazy against it and don't need it. Some people really need it. Other people can't get it because it just like destroys them. It's very weird.
Yeah. I have breathing problems constantly, as my allergies and shit. So my doctor's always like, "You got to get a flu shot." But ever since I was probably like 21 years old, I've worked in jobs that have required me to have the flu shot. Like I have to have my flu vaccination, so they like won't let me in the building and shit. So
yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So it's easy enough usually, unless you get both at the same time. I don't know how we started. Fucking Guthix. While Guthix sleeps, RuneFest. Yeah, I can't, dude. Are you still going?
Where?
To RuneFest.
Well, I didn't have a ticket. I was going. So
that solves that problem.
Yeah, I was going to buy one when they were like, "Hey guys, we're gonna give you, we're gonna release 1,000 more tickets," and I was like, "Oh, cool. See if I can get one this time." And then the day before that happened, Player One Events was like, "What if we didn't exist anymore?"
It's a bold strategy, Con. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Yeah. So, other than, well, I don't know what the that sentence was going to be. I'm not going. I wasn't going to go. It kind of works out because now I don't have to cancel any like hotel plans or anything because I was like, well, I guess I'm not going. So that's cool, I guess. But I don't know.
Okay. So that doesn't help Michael and I at all.
Yeah.
I
assume you guys probably had all your
still
shit
go
planned.
We had
ready to go.
Dude, we had tickets, airfare, and lodging like ready to go.
So
and
I mean,
at the time of recording, we don't know what we're doing with all that.
Yeah. If we had gotten our tickets, I know Sparry probably wouldn't have done it, but I would have kicked him in the rear end. And by that, I mean, I probably would have done it all myself and just kicked him in the rear end to get me a response on like, okay, are we leaving this day? Can you do this day? That? Because I would have wanted to get that done immediately. So, but
have you do a lot of international travel or travel period?
Not a ton. I think the most recently I internationally traveled, and it's barely internationally traveling, was flying to Toronto from Seattle. So
okay,
technically international travel, but it's just U.S. to Canada. So
yeah,
the only time I've ever been out of the continent was when I was in high school. I took an exchange program to Germany. So
how long were you over there for?
It was like a month-ish, I think.
Damn.
It was in Germany. We were in some of the nations around Germany, just kind of vibing, driving around, taking trains everywhere. It was a good time.
Do you speak German?
Speak German is probably an extreme overstatement at this point. I used to know some German. At this point, It is mostly gone. It's not really something I use.
I don't doubt it. Yeah. I was the same way with Italian. I feel like I kind of have kept up on my Italian all right over the years. Like a lot has just solidified, but I don't use it on a daily basis anymore like I used to. So, but
Also,
yeah, you're right. Absolutely kicking the ass to get the travel and the lodging going.
Yeah, it's always
for the trip.
Always very important for the few trips that I have planned. I'm always like, yeah, what if we planned it immediately and didn't have to worry about it later when it's probably more expensive and more stressful to plan it? So, yeah, that was the same way I handled I was kind of in charge of that Toronto trip. This mic actually that is sitting in front of me was the final installment of payment from Sparry back to me because I paid for all the flight tickets up front. And I was just like, you guys have to pay me back. But I paid for them. And his ass did not pay for his very quickly. But he got around to it. So it's okay. And now
he's the we'll get there co-host.
I don't know. I mean, yes. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with yes. Because you can look at the release schedule of Guthix Rest. We will get there when we get
last
there.
Last episode was recorded, what, a week or so ago?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago.
Was released
many months ago at this point. So
March. It'll come back. We'll be.
I don't know how many we have crazy in the backlog at this point. I'm curious to see what his strategy is going to be. If he's going to like edit them and release them as they go, or if he's going to like edit all of them and then just mass drop them. Because I think that would be really funny.
I know the RuneScape podcast audience community, they would go fucking feral for that. If you guys released 25 hours of podcast content in one day, oh my God. People would be going nuts. That shit would be so cool.
Yeah, I think from what I know from like listening to content creators talk about like releasing stuff, I've heard that releasing a bunch of stuff at the same time is like bad, but it's not like we're professionals with a huge following by any means. So I don't know that I care.
Yeah, I think at this point, it's not like you're building anticipation for like a big series finale. It's like, hey, we had some extenuating circumstances that have caused us a delay in release. Here's everything. Here's all of package deal.
I think that would be really funny.
Here's an 18-hour long episode. It's just fucking cram them all into one.
That would be fucked.
It's not even Guthix Rest at that point. It's like Guthix full REM cycle state.
That would be something. But
Guthix drank an entire bottle of Zeke and he can't get his ass to wake up.
only one bottle? I think there is definitely more than one bottle there.
Yeah. So RuneFest is, I guess. I don't know. I wish it wasn't. Like, it feels really bad to be like, oh yeah, it's totally in the bin, because they said that it's postponed. They said, like, if you want a refund, we'll give you one. But this is where Michael and I, again, he and I haven't really talked about it. I haven't talked to him much at all today. It's like, do we say that we don't want a refund and we're just sort of like riding it out, and we're gonna change our trip. We're gonna go to England twice. Like, we don't know what the deal is. I was joking with some of the boys this morning. I'm like, damn, dude, RuneFest sucks. That's great. Like, we have to do it twice. That sucks, man. On an unrelated note, Patreon prices are going to be doubling within the next month. Again, totally unrelated to why, but you know,
that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see if like a community event of all the people that were going is going to spring up.
We wouldn't be opposed to even hosting that. We kind of talked like, could we turn this into like an Xpwaste London kind of deal? Because Michael and I had touched on kind of the idea that like, if we get a hotel, like if we rent a hotel in London, just in case RuneFest goes under, right? Because the last couple of weeks, no one's really known what's going on.
Yeah.
We rent a hotel in London. We don't have to pay for it till we get there. And if that's the case, then in theory, we could just like figure out which city we're staying in and then cancel the other reservation, right? And then I'm pretty certain we could do something. I don't know who would all still be going. I know a couple of our good friends in TNL might be locked into plane tickets, but as far as like the broader RuneScape community, if y'all want to come hang out with us one day in London and have like a diet RuneFest where we just get shitty drunk and eat fish and chips, I don't know. Like, it's probably going to be the equivalent. There won't be nearly as much like set dressing as RuneFest would probably have, but you know, can't be too different.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely kind of hard to know who all would still be holding on to the idea of, oh, well, I've already made this, so I guess I'll still go. But I guess that's something you'd have to reach out to some people, see what's going on.
Yeah. Another concern is like, can we get the money back for the plane tickets?
Yeah.
Because if the answer is no, your two favorite podcast co-hosts are going to England, guys.
Going to get a
we might not have a way out of it. Yeah, we just might. Fish, chips, and crumpets and all that, because we don't know if we can get the money back for the plane tickets. Again, nothing's like official right now from Michael and I, because we don't know what's happening, but you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm just sitting here having kind of lucked out that I didn't manage to get a ticket at this point. Because admittedly, I was pretty bummed out when because I woke up pretty early, and by pretty early I mean the instant those tickets had launched, I was on the site, and I don't know if it was my Wi-Fi or if it was the site itself, but I just like couldn't get into the site at all. It was being terrible, and so I refreshed a couple times, and I finally get in, and it's like, sorry, they're all gone. I'm like, bro, what? It's been like 3 minutes.
It's f***ed that they sold that quickly.
It was insane.
Like, do you think if they like open up RuneFest again in like February, right? February 25.
They got to get a bigger venue.
I was just say, surely they get a bigger venue, right? And they sell like 10,000 tickets.
I would imagine that they would at least attempt to learn from this. I imagine that they would probably get a bigger venue. Maybe not a ton bigger, because the way that they've worded a lot of things, it seems like they're probably still concerned about the fact that they were only releasing 1,000 more tickets. Like, I realize part of it was because they were getting they had to get the okay from the Insomnia Games Fest. So I don't know like what exactly the terms and conditions there were, but
I mean, all I'm saying is the NEC is now completely free that weekend, Jack X. If you want to sell like 25,000 tickets, you could make your money's worth if you just keep it on that weekend and just lock down the NEC.
The problem is they then have to fill the entire NEC with all their stuff at this point, because they were essentially a side event from my understanding.
100%, yeah.
So now if they were to try to plan it, the amount of planning that they have to do is much larger, and the amount of time they have to do so is significantly shorter. And they don't have an event staff.
Listen, as long as it's not that fucking Tumblr con or whatever it was.
DashCon?
With like the kiddie pool.
I was in the proximity of that event where I live, so.
You went to DashCon?
No,
that's crazy, dude.
No.
You spent money
you know what?
on
Yeah,
to
I was there.
That's wild, dog.
Who can prove me wrong?
Any of the photos.
If you can prove me wrong, you were probably actually there. And honestly, gotcha.
That's all a ploy. Like 50 people went to that event or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a total bust. That's such a fucking. As long as it's not that Jagex, we're fine. Like we don't need fucking like animatronics or anything like.
They do.
Wild and
I think
crazy.
they definitely do need a ball pit, though. You know,
just for laughs. Yeah, almost as like an homage to DashCon. You know, like
I feel like no convention is complete without a ball pit at this point. You know.
Well, if we ever hold
or like a foam pit or just some kind of pit, you know.
Bro, what was the foam pit at like TwitchCon?
Yeah, the one where
or something?
Some chick broke her back or whatever.
It was like a foot deep.
Yeah, I think it was.
They're like, oh, jump in the foam pit.
I think it was at like the Lenovo booth or something. Like,
yeah, people like broke their coccyx bones and shit. Like it was bad.
Anyways, I think that pits at events are notoriously good, and there should be one at every single one.
Let's at least make a pit with like. I would say soft surfaces, but you know.
They did manage to do that. There just wasn't enough soft surfaces.
I think there was just too much hard surfaces.
Well, there was not enough soft surface between the hard surface.
That is, yeah, that's true. So, all right, Xpwaste Con Europe, we're going to have a petroleum jelly pit. And we're just going to block out a section of the River Thames and just fill the thing with like Vaseline, and you guys just fucking dive on in there. We promise it's deep enough you can go head first.
Sounds good.
I
think this is a good idea.
I think Jagex, you need an event team. You know,
I think
Seppi J says
my guy is
required,
on
optional, 100% optional. I think.
Yeah, I think Jagex should hire you immediately.
They don't even need to. These ideas are free.
Oh, damn. Dude.
These ideas are 100% free.
They're in the money, for sure.
Exactly. They have to fill all 40 rooms at the NEC with something.
Yeah, I mean, just grab some inflatable pools, grab some Vaseline. How expensive could it be?
I think when we're working with that much space, do we need a pool? Like, can we just like fill a room with it? You know,
true. Actually,
how many tubs of Vaseline do you think it would take to fill a conference center room?
I think we can go for. I don't think we need tubs. I think at this point we can go with barrels.
How many barrels of Vaseline do you think it would take to fill a conference center room?
I'm gonna go
with not so much Vaseline that you like couldn't open the door and get into it, but enough that you can like have a good time.
Like somewhere in the knees dimension, I imagine, somewhere around there.
Knee deep in Vaseline. That's a lot of fucking Vaseline. That's got to be at least. It's got to be at least 2,000 barrels, right?
I'd imagine it is at least over 1,000. It's in the thousands.
Seppi J in the recording booth chat. People are sending unrelated gifts, and he goes, "I'm too scared to search Vaseline gifts."
What do you mean unrelated? These are very related.
Grace me up, woman. We've got some potential. RuneFest 2024 or 2025, who knows at this point, is going to be bumping or sliding, maybe, depending on how
Sliding
much
would be good.
is there. You know, okay, fucking, we're going to have to go to England in the winter. Hold on.
Oh,
Wait a second. Dude,
yeah, I'm not buying a ticket. I'm sorry.
England in the winter, man? Oh, man.
No, it could be.
We said England in the winter.
He's gone. He's out of here.
He's out of here. It's going to be snowy and cold and shit. Oh, my God.
I'm from the snowy and cold part of the existence.
You mean too, but I don't want a vacation in the snowy and cold.
I don't know. I kind of like the snowy and cold. I'm going to keep it real.
Kind of like it. I don't disagree that it's better than when it's too hot.
Yeah, I like the snowy and cold, asterisk, as long as I have somewhere warm to stay.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's like
I
how
think it's a pretty fair.
It's like how I really
balance.
like the rain, as long as I have the option to be inside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would like cold and rain nearly as much if I did not have a house in which that I can retreat into.
First world problems, honestly.
Real. Anyways, how about that game update this week?
What did they fucking update
this week? I was actually laughing so hard at this week's game update because the update is titled Miscellaneous Changes, and the entire news post is just like, Pride event. They're doing a mobile beta for the changes they're doing on the mobile client. Deadman All-Stars is happening. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullet points of stuff they actually changed in the game. And they still had the gall to call this post Miscellaneous Changes. Brother, you barely changed anything. Why not title this like This Week in RuneScape or something? I don't fucking know.
I think it's not a misleading title. I think they could have said a few miscellaneous changes, not many, a very low number of miscellaneous changes. Because I think the only one that I looked at and was like, wow, that's actually not too bad, is the Agility Arena selling Toadflax and Snapdragon noted.
Yeah, I saw
and
that,
then
no.
the crane can now be fixed with any tier of plank.
They should update the crane model to reflect this. It should now be made of many different colors of wood, I think.
It'd be good. It'd be a fun little artistic touch. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah, those are
Just
really
say there's
only...
no game update, dog.
Yeah,
Just,
honestly,
none of these things had to come out this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think they don't have to, but they always do change the PvP world stuff. So they essentially have to roll out something every week in order to do that. So they were just like, these changes are ready, just throw them in there.
You know what we haven't seen in a while? A QOL blog.
That is true. I think we're supposed to be getting one soon on the minigame stuff.
Oh, God, is it more minigame shit?
Yeah, it's more minigame shit. I know that they specifically mentioned Wintertodt and Guardians of the Rift. I don't remember which blog that was in. That might have been the week before the Project Rebalance combat changes, I think.
You read the blog post in way more detail than I do.
Yes, it was
that said,
the 23rd of May, 2024.
Yes, only a few weeks ago by these estimations. Yes.
Yeah, it's worth noting that our next QL poll will see us focus on more significant changes to some minigames / activities, including Wintertodt and Guardians of the Rift. That QL poll has not come out yet, but it is supposedly, allegedly, on its way.
So was fucking RuneFest.
Allegedly. So, yeah, that was the same week that they rolled out like the Trouble Brewing changes. So they were like, yeah, check out these cool minigame improvements that we just made because we felt like it. Anyways, we're going to make some more, but you'll actually get to vote on them this time.
Bro, do they change Trouble Brewing?
They added like a bunch of it's super minor. They added like a bunch of XP gains to like certain actions that you perform, and then the pieces of 8 currency is no longer like an item. It's just like a
in shop store. Yep,
that was it.
That
I think there is like some
cool, I guess.
super
I don't know.
stupid tech with the I think it's like the scrapey tree bark or something. Depositing scrapey tree bark in the hopper awards 320 cooking XP, and it is tradable. So hypothetically, you can get a shit ton of accounts harvesting scrapey tree bark and then trading it all to one account for, I think, the highest cooking XP in the entire game.
Who would have thought that trouble brewing after
It's
all these years?
so incredibly unfeasible, but technically possible.
That's like YouTube level. Somebody's got to make a video out of that. That screams Hannah. That screams Eevescape. That screams Rendy. Like one of those.
I think scrapey tree bark is like super annoying to harvest. So you'd have to have like so many fucking accounts doing this for it to actually like get any amount of XP per hour that is kind of
what's
impressive.
the cap on players for trouble brewing? OSRS.
That is a good question.
Trouble brewing. What's the cap on players that you could have? And can you trade to members of the opposite team?
That is also a good question.
How many players per game can you get in this bitch? Let me see. Joining a game, blah, 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 blah. Intervals of 3 minutes, 10-minute mark. I'm not actually reading this. It doesn't seem to say.
It could be that nobody's tested it. I control F limit, and the only thing is sweet grubs, and the word is unlimited. So, what if I search players? None of this is useful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it's listed here. Maybe it's untested. Anyways, it sounds like it's time for a trouble brewing mass.
No, I was going to say, somebody's got to get her going.
Somebody's got to figure this
We
out.
have to figure out how many people we can get in a trouble brewing game. Because once we know that cap and how long it takes to harvest scrapey bark, we could theoretically get the maximum amount of XP.
The participants does say 2+. So it doesn't, I don't think there is an upper limit recorded right now.
Yes, we found a gap in the wiki.
There are many of those if you look hard enough.
If you're listening to this,
and you happen to have a large community of people,
which we fucking do here, guys, we could contribute to the wiki. We could all be contributing members of the wiki and figure out how many people can play in a trouble brewing game. And as such, figure out how much cooking XP you can earn in a single game.
How do we determine who gets the cooking XP, though? Like, does it just get to be one of you guys?
Is there a cooking requirement?
I don't.
Hold on. Is there a cooking requirement to play this game?
I don't think there is.
You have to have 40 cooking, and to play the game, you have to complete Cabin
40.
Fever and have at least 40 cooking. So we could get
someone that has like exactly 40 cooking. And see how quickly you can just crank it. That would be amusing.
Imagine, dude. We get someone to fucking like 85 cooking in one game of trouble brewing.
That would be quite amusing to see, I think.
I guess because if you could trade from members of the other team.
Yeah, if you could trade from members of the other team, I think this is probably feasible. I think the other thing, I don't remember exactly how you gather scrapey bark, but I'm pretty sure you have to gather it from a tree that like falls over and then takes like a random amount of time to regenerate. So that might be a limiting factor.
There are
as well.
a number of scrapey trees around the area that can be cut down. They usually yield several logs before being felled. Once the logs are in your inventory, you must use a knife to cut the bark off, at which point you can put into a corresponding hopper. There is a low 1 in 50 chance while removing the bark from the scrapey logs that you will become diseased.
Yes.
For 4 disease damage.
Good old disease.
Wow. You don't see that status effect very often, do you?
No, you see it basically only when someone's done that one ogre quest and has gone back to like the GE or something, and you see them there taking disease damage for no reason. That's like,
but doesn't do health damage.
No, it just reduces your stats, all of them,
which is whack. Could we get the entire lobby diseased?
We definitely could. I think there's multiple ways of getting diseased in this minigame.
Diseased.
I think there's another. I think they're like the bugs that follow you around can disease you.
Let's see. Disease is a status effect. Any monster. It can be caused by failing to pick the lock on an ogre coffin at Jig-Hig, or by failing to cut a scrapey tree in Trouble
literally
Brewing.
the only two ways. Incredible. What a good mechanic. I'm so glad this is in the game. What a weird game.
All right, guys. We're going to hold a fucking Trouble Brewing mass one of these days. Maybe the fucking day after this episode comes out, we'll just like squat up on 514 on that Friday night, and we'll go just cram as many people as we can into Trouble Brewing. Bring your alt accounts, bring your irons. I don't care. Trouble Brewing gains of the week? Probably not, Swole. I'm going to be honest. We're not going to do a skill of the week, boss of the week for Trouble Brewing. I don't think I would put this
the most
trouble.
Who can get the most pieces of 8 in a week?
Yeah, instead of a Discord role, you get awarded fucking...
You get banned.
You're gone. 6 months of therapy. That's what you get. But somebody said now that like once they made that change and now like currency is trackable via before and after screenshots, we can technically do a fucking Trouble Brewing tile in bingo. So brace yourselves, folks. If we figure out what this upper limit is, it might be earn a certain amount of pieces of 8. God, that'd be such a fucking dog shit tile.
I have to wonder if the most efficient way of getting points is to like feed one person all of the materials like that. I think the amount of points is based on the amount of rum you create, though, so I don't think it actually matters. I want to say that's how you get pieces of 8, but no, it can't be because people just sit there and fill water all game.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It is terrible. It's actually kind of interesting. Spari always likes to hype it up. He's like, oh yeah, it's actually a really interesting minigame if everybody's actually playing it. I have actually played it against people that are actually playing. It is only mildly interesting. But it is definitely better than sitting there filling a hopper with water for like 20 minutes or whatever. So,
just delete the minigame.
Nah, we got to rework it. We got to make it goated. I don't know how they do it.
It already kind of is. It could potentially be the best cooking XP in the game, you guys.
You know, it's actually...
I want to watch a
incredible.
noob get 4 million cooking XP in a single game of Trouble Brewing.
You can buy a medium clue scroll for 5,000 pieces of 8. Which is terrible, for the record. That is awful.
I realize my camera has not been on in the recording booth chat the entire time, so you guys just did not see my look of disgust at that statement. What in the world?
Yeah, I knew that you could buy all the like cosmetic stuff from this. I did not know that you could buy an endless supply of medium clues for 5,000 points. That is such a terrible deal.
But the question is, right, how much of your life do you have to sacrifice to buy even one medium clue scroll?
Why would you even do that? It's like you're better off just buying some stupid collection log slot than one fucking medium clue from this activity. Like, I guess...
But you could get multiple collection log slots if you've never done any medium clues.
You're so right. I didn't even think about it that way. That makes so much sense.
100% could. There is potential there. There is absolutely mad potential there.
That is so true. Anyways, Trouble Brewing sucks.
Trouble Brewing sucks. RUNEFEST isn't happening.
Everything sucks, man.
This is terrible. I didn't try the mobile UI beta. Michael said the new layout looks nice, but it's going to be tough to get used to. And I guess ground markers might be a little janky, but I've not tried it out.
Yeah, I have not tried it. I do not really use the mobile client outside of like sometimes I'll log in at work and be like, "Ooh, maybe I'll do a farm run," and then I like get halfway through my farm run because I don't know, probably like doing something else, and then I'll be like, "Oh well, I gotta go back to work now."
I've been playing mobile a shit ton. Bought an iPad and
see the tablet gaming is definitely
the tablet gaming has definitely changed my life for maxing. which I guess this is going to be probably an ongoing topic here on Xpwaste, but I'm interested to ask you as a third party who probably doesn't give a shit either way. Do we still max by RUNEFEST, quote unquote?
All right. So here's the deal, right? If you say you're going to max at a time and then you change that time, you're a bitch. Like it's just that simple. So you still have to max by when RuneFest was going to be. And then if you do end up going to Ingerland still, now the event is your maxing party.
Can we drive to Jagex for my maxing party? Hold on, guys. Can we
just set up like a little pop-up outside their studios and just be like, hey guys, it's my maxing party.
Beep, 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 beep. I'm sure people have done that in the past, right? Surely someone has driven to the headquarters and been like, hey guys, can we be there to max my account? Which is so weird.
Yeah.
That's such a strange.
That's some parasocial type shit.
Oh, 1,000,000%. But you got to think they have a contingency for it, right? And if they do, guys, we could be a part of that contingency. We could be a part of that contingency, a part of the few who figure out whether or not Jagex will.
Does Jagex have a security team? Let's find out.
What is the maximum number of players you can fit in a single Jagex lobby? How much cooking can you get done before they kick you out?
That's an excellent question.
So we've got one vote for don't be a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's definitely my opinion. That was exactly what I told Spari when he was maxing. I was like, listen, you said you're going to max by this date. You got to do it. And honestly, I already forgot by now, but I think he changed the date, but I don't really remember. So if he's listening and he did change the date, you're a bitch, Spari. I hate you. But
Bird also has no way to prove that.
Yeah, I probably could go and find it. I am that petty, but
it's too much work.
Yeah, it's a lot of
He's
work.
not going to do it.
I probably won't. Regardless, Spar's a bitch. Got him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take
I'm glad we can agree.
Sorry, Spari.
I'm not. Anyways, what do you think they're going to change to Wintertod? This is something I've been curious about, what they're going to actually pull about changing Wintertod.
Hear me out, right? So Varlamore is deciding to attack Zaya, and Varlamore drops a 50 megaton warhead on the Wintertod.
I'm liking where this is going.
And just fucking remember how the desert used to have that big black square?
There's still one on Menefos, right?
Well, picture that.
Is it theirs? I don't remember.
It's just over Wintertod.
I like this idea.
Somebody again.
I think this is good.
said that somebody just disconnected from the.
They got hit by the warhead. It's over.
They got hit by the warhead. They're out of here. They're the black spot on the screen now on the mini map.
Yeah, there is still one underneath Menefos. It's gonna look like that.
If I was a betting man, the biggest thing they probably will change about Wintertod is number one, the health of the pyromancers in a mass, and number two, the higher fire making level you have and or the type of warm clothing you're wearing severely mitigates cold damage.
Yes.
And I mean, like, you get ticked for like 1 or 2, or they make it so cold damage does not interrupt actions anymore.
Yeah. I think it is extremely safe to bet that one way or another, cold damage is getting changed somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it's reducing it based on some factor, I think you're definitely right in that they'll probably make it so it doesn't affect actions, or it affects like less actions. Like maybe it still affects fletching, but it doesn't affect the brazier. I don't know. But more than likely, they'll just probably be like, nah, f*** it. It doesn't affect anything anymore. But
which will speed up the XP per hour, though. So they'll need to like nerf everything in Wintertod if they do that.
Honestly, the only thing I really care about is making it so that having 99 HP there isn't a detriment. I'm so tired of that.
Yeah,
it's very dumb.
I agree. It is pretty dumb that like the tactic is just not.
And because
play your account.
Yeah, it makes such a stupid meta for like all these starting hardcores or just regular Ironman, but they're like, well, guess I'll go to Wintertodt until 99. I hate it. It's stupid. It's a stupid meta. I did not participate in it.
I also haven't, but I need to get 99 firemaking before Michael gets a blowpipe, or at the same time. Michael kicked the hornet's nest twice in 1 week.
Yeah?
Which was a mistake on his part. He at first when we were recording, he was like, "Oh yeah, if I get the blowpipe, Oxie has to stop maxing." Teehee. And I was like,
which account is he playing on?
He's playing on his group Iron Man.
What's the username of that account?
Michael Machaal. He's got like 100-ish something KC, so it's not too bad. He's
got 900. That's not bad. That's definitely not bad.
He's got 900 KC. Jesus
this is his main, right?
No, this is his iron. We're looking at the same account.
Oh yeah, okay. I switched to iron.
Machaal. Yeah.
He's maxed, right? Is this account maxed or is this a different Michael? Machaal. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Missed it. All right.
He's reached out to that guy for the username.
That's funny. Okay, he's got 111. All right.
Yeah.
So
there's your update. There's your weekly update on Michael Zulrah KC, you guys. It's probably gone up since the time this episode was recorded, but still.
Yeah. That is still not terrible. Obviously, less good than 900.
Less good, but not the worst. So
it could be 110, but is instead 111.
On the flip side, it could be 112.
True.
So get your shit together.
Well,
so that was the first thing he said on the podcast. He's like,
okay.
Oxie has to stop what he's doing and get 99 firemaking. I said, don't play this game with me. You're not going to like it. He said, teehee. And then in our group Iron Man chat, he said something about getting 99 mining. He's like, well, I have to get 99 mining so Oxie doesn't accidentally get the first 99. We can't have that happen. So I just like sent a gif of someone with like the lens flare eyeballs and was like, time to fucking lock in. Dude, I was sweat logging, drift net fishing and Wintertodt at the same time. The other day. It was crusty. You could smell my chair from down the street. Yeah. Over the course of just like hanging out for a couple hours, it was like 650 firemaking, 650k firemaking XP. And if I can pay full attention while like AFKing redwoods, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might be able to get 99 firemaking before they make the changes to Wintertodt to make it less shitty. I don't know.
We'll see. I think those changes are probably still like a month out. Maybe
a month out
more.
Of being announced.
Yeah, even announced, right? So
yeah,
who knows?
So
maybe they'll just
fucking
shadow drop the poll next week for all we know. But even if it gets polled next week, it'll be another month or two before that shit comes out. So
RIP the days of them just like finishing an update to its entirety.
So
and then
true.
And then polling it and getting told, no, we don't want this.
Yeah. To be fair, that was not great when they finished something and then they couldn't add it to the game. I mean, it was great for us probably because most likely we voted no because it was stupid, but it was not great for them. So
it's an overall good decision on their part.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Wintertodt change, can we just make it like an integrity change?
Yeah.
Can like you just Wintertodt doesn't suck anymore?
Yeah. We literally just did that with Trouble Brewing. It didn't make it not suck, but we did just decide to update it.
Do we think the community is going to accept Wintertodd's XP rates being nerfed? Because
people get really pissy about XP rates.
They really do. So the only reason why I think it's going to get nerfed, only a little bit, maybe like 5 or 10%, is because if they make it so cold damage in particular does not interrupt actions, there will be no stopping. It's like even if you don't fletch, it's like guaranteed 3 inventories per game on a mass world. And that's pretty decent firemaking XP.
Yeah.
You know? And if you don't ever get interrupted by anything, right? I don't know. They'll probably have to nerf that a little bit, or maybe nerf it enough so it doesn't change the XP rates.
The problem with
I feel
saying
that's the best way to come out
is they have like said, "Oh, we're gonna change this thing, but the XP will still be like this," or they give a lot of XP numbers, and then when they release something, it's fucking nowhere near that. It's like way under or way over. Like Zolcano, I think. When they did the Zolcano change, I believe the XP per hour that they estimated was so far under what actually happened.
Oh yeah, because people were just like spoofing it, right?
Yeah,
they were a shit ton of mining XP.
Yeah, there was like the
world
world switching thing, but I think also just like doing it normally was like way more than they had initially proposed. And I
had 99 mining when that change came out, and I've never actually changed it. So people in my bingo team were like, "Oh, this is such good mining XP. This is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, I just got fucking 50 runite bars. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know."
I don't even have 99 mining, and I also didn't change it. I like getting free shit.
Yeah, I mean the loot is
the
way
loot's
more
pretty solid
than the XP.
It is not bad.
I say as someone who already has 99 mining done, when going for 99 mining, XP is king. It doesn't matter.
I am sitting at 92, and I did not care. I am just free stuff. Give me stuff. If I want XP, I will go suffer at VM. That's true. That is my opinion.
I don't know. We were talking this morning about skilling. I think were it not for the Howled Sepulchre, agility would be the worst skill in the game.
Yeah.
But because Howled Sepulchre exists, mining, I think, is the worst.
Yeah, mining doesn't have anything particularly crazy engaging. Like, I guess now you have Zolcano since you can switch to XP mode. But even Zolcano isn't, like, crazy engaging.
At least there's a pet chance.
Yeah, there is a pet chance.
Mining got made a lot better with shooting stars, though. I think I have not engaged in Zolcano or calcified mining rocks or new Motherlode.
Yeah, I heard calcified's good. I haven't engaged with new amethyst. I've heard that's okay. It's better than it used to be. It's a little more AFK.
So mining might not actually be shit. Honestly, who knows at this point? But I feel like shooting stars definitely improved mining a ton because Motherlode mine pre-change was ass.
Yeah,
Motherlode mine
I was not
post-change, it would still be ass. I have no idea. I've not gone back, surprisingly. I've not even bothered.
I don't think
Though,
I will ever go there.
Motherlode mine is an other category. Does that mean... What is Motherlode mine... Okay, I still have Motherlode mine green logged. Just needed to make sure. Just need to make sure they didn't add any new collection log slots to Motherlode mine.
They did add new unlockables, but they're not collection logs, so it does not matter.
Well, I have 13 million experience and the mining pet, so bet your sweet ass I'm not going back there.
Understandable. Have a nice day. I'll also not be going back there, but that's just because I hate it, and I also have it green logged, so... Haha.
I had it green logged. God, so long. I
don't even think I ever unlocked the top floor. I think I green logged it without ever unlocking the top floor.
Bro, get some help, dude. Top floor is great. But especially before they made the change where like all the veins are on a timer or something. Dude, top floor was a godsend.
I think I was on some fucking something when I was doing Motherlode mine because I was like, man, you need 50 nuggets to go to the top. Man, I could just spend that on these collection log slots.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean,
here thinking with true efficiency. You know, it's not about how you get the number; it's about getting the number. You know.
I just wanted to leave that place. I did not like it, and
that's okay.
I don't think
Prospector
getting the upper
Percy
floor
can't hurt you anymore.
Actually, he can every time I get a hard clue. I think it's a hard clue, right?
I think you're right. Yeah. From here, is it socially acceptable from here on out to just like drop that clue going forward? I stand on business. I'll never go back to MLM. I don't give a shit what clue step is there.
I cannot be compelled to drop clues. I will do every single one. The one time I dropped a master clue, I was like, dang, it's a Zamorak Godsword. I'm not getting one of those anytime soon. Guess who has a fucking Zamorak Godsword now? I feel like a fucking idiot. Now I'm holding on to a fucking armor. I literally dropped that master, and like closer to the end, I got an Armadillo Helm one, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll keep this one. And now I have a Zamorak Godsword, and I still don't have an Armadillo Helm because I haven't done any Kree. Skill issue.
That's about a big skill issue as a kid, so I'm not going to lie.
I do have a Kree task. I've just been too lazy to go do it. That shit is sitting in task storage. But I can untask storage it for free now, so...
Good shit.
Kind of a
Man, I
W.
don't even know what I have in task storage at the moment. Maybe it's Hellhounds. Maybe it's Hydras. I don't know.
I haven't done Slayer in so long because I'm sitting on a Callisto task that I was originally going to use at Bingo, and then somebody like went to RDO for 2 seconds and got something, and they got the claws, and so it was like, well, we don't need the claws of Callisto anymore. It's time to do any of the other Wildy boss. And I was like, fuck. So I still had that Callisto task.
I don't think I've trained Slayer since Bingo.
I haven't trained Slayer since before Bingo. Shit, man.
In the last probably 2 months or so, barring Bingo, I've literally only done skilling content. I don't know if I talked about it last week on the podcast, but while looking through my loot tracker recently with Michael, I scrolled down and found something that's like, oh shit, dude, 29 mil. I must have done PVM at some point. Thank God I've done PVM recently. It's the Howled Sepulcher. It's my fucking Ring of Endurance. And I'm just so... I need to get out there and kill something. And hanging out today...
to kill something.
With the Raiders, dude, it's terrible for me, right? There's a reason I can't join those VCs, mainly because I'm working. But, like, they're doing fucking necks, and they're doing challenge modes. They're talking about going to top. They're talking about getting combat achievements done. I'm like, oh, this is the RuneScape I want to play, baby. This is the RuneScape I need to be a part of. But I gotta poke these fucking fish souls, you know? I gotta keep poking them for another 227,000 experience.
No, it's not even that bad at this point. You can manage that.
Yeah, I'll get it done tonight, I think. It says right now my current not paying that much attention XP rates, about 3 hours.
Oh yeah,
to 99. So we're just gonna get that done today. I figured I had about a full 8 hours worth of Driftnet to do today, which will get done. Also will probably net me somewhere close to like 700-ish K Hunter, which will be hype as fuck.
Not bad.
Yeah. So we're cruising, we're schmooving. In the same vein of mini game changes, right? Because we're just bouncing all over the fucking place this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Wintertod, it's got to be cold damage. What are they going to change at Guardians of the Rift?
I have no fucking idea. I actually don't know why they said Guardians of the Rift. I don't know what's wrong with this minigame. I don't participate in masses literally at all. I only do small teams, which I think is actually pretty fun.
Okay. So I think that's the issue. If they're changing one thing about Guardians of the Rift,
was that it was some masses bullshit.
I think they're going to make it like Temporos, where multiple games can start at one time.
Interesting.
Because that's the current issue with Guardians of the Rift, is if you do not get in, you're sitting outside that bitch for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would imagine Soul says, or like LMS and do 20 people. I think they would need to nerf the minigame a little bit or scale it appropriately, as it were, if they were going to lock it to 20 people per instance. But I think there's also a challenge of how do you get it to be an instance, because you're going to the live rune crafting altars.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you go stand at if you go stand at the fire altar on a Guardians of the Rift world, in theory, you should see a bunch of people flooding in randomly and then leaving after 30 seconds.
It is pretty funny when it happens. I think I was at the nature altar at one point for like a clue step that's like craft nature runes. I think it might be an elite. I don't remember. And I happened to be on a Guardians of the Rift world for some godforsaken reason. And I just go in there and there's like 600,000 people there. I'm like, what the? Oh, right.
Oh shit! No, that's why you people are here. It's Guardians of the Rift. Right.
I'm curious what because if they're bringing it to a QOL poll, right? I feel like they have something at least somewhat substantial to bring to the table, and I don't feel like that's like huge. You know, like I guess that should go to the poll, but I feel like they'd have more than just that to poll if they were like, yeah, this poll will see us, and I quote, Focus on more significant changes to some minigames/activities, including Guardians of the Rift and Wintertod.
Do you think that A, they're going to start allowing day alt essence in the minigame?
That would be wild.
Or B, they're going to change how you get the outfit?
I think that I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I heard it proposed very early on that, like, the fact that you cannot purchase the dyes is dumber than shit. It should be a dupe protection RNG thing for the outfit piece that you get from the thing, right? You use the pulls to get the outfit pieces and then buy the dyes with Abyssal Pearls. On the flip side, though, like, agility has both, right? You have to buy graceful with the tokens, but you also buy the scroll recolor with other tokens, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, which is it? Which is better? Because of the other skilling minigame outfits, the Angler outfit is random. The Angler outfit upgrade is kind of random. The woodcutting outfit is quote-unquote random.
It's piss easy to get. It's kind of an outlier.
It's not that hard. Wintertod is random, right? I think the only other exception is the farmer's outfit, right? Because you buy that from Tithe.
Yeah, that's a purchasable. So I guess it is kind of split. I think the older precedent is that it would be random, but some of the newer ones, I think starting with Tithe Farm is purchasable, unless you count like them adding fucking Angler outfit purchasable with mulch pearls, but I don't think that is relevant to anybody.
Who does that?
Nobody does that.
Who does that?
Completely
I know Prospector is purchasable.
Oh, true. I forgot.
You know, I don't think they will change it because Prospector is purchasable. The Smith's outfit is purchasable.
Oh, dude, I forgot about all
you'll be able to.
I own
you'll
all
be able
of
to
these,
purchase.
but...
You'll be able to purchase the fucking the new
the Herbler one
is.
is. I'm pretty sure everything from that is going to be purchasable. I don't think there's going to be like any fucking random drops from that at all, unless you count like buying the packs of potions and then getting random potions from that.
You're a professional Iron Man. Is that content going to be dead week release? Right?
It's going to be dead as soon as everybody finishes getting the useful rewards.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
because it's so. Why the fuck did they make the bonus for Herblore come from the goggles?
I don't really understand. I understand why they did the goggles thing. Like, I understand their reasoning. I don't really like it. The reason they're making it the goggles is like the whole like, oh well, fashionscape, I guess. We don't want you to be forced to wear this whole outfit all the time. But
I still think you should have to buy all four pieces in order
that was
for
my
that
problem
effect
as
to
well.
take
Yeah.
place.
Like
there should be like, oh yeah, you've earned this. Let me consolidate this for you, and he imbues your.
Like I don't understand we already had the solution to this. Forestry added the backpack thing where you can put your fucking woodcutting outfit in the backpack, and now you have it all in one item. Why didn't we just do the same thing here? I don't really get it.
No idea.
Yeah, it does seem quite odd to me. But yeah, as a somewhat professional Iron Man, that shit's done. That shit's gone as soon as everybody gets the rewards they want. Like, I am going there. I'm getting probably the full outfit for the collection log slots. I'm probably just getting all the collection log slots and then never returning. Like,
we're clogging and then we're out of there, baby. Because I should already have 99 Herblore by the time it comes out. Because I'm thinking, honestly, as far as like iPad AFK skills go,
Herblore's pretty good.
Herblore is good. It's my last bank standing skill, I'm pretty sure. Herblore is my last bank standing skill. So we could really get her going. I've missed a bank standing skill. I haven't done a bank standing skill. I don't want to say in a minute because I did fletching, but like fletching felt so different. You know,
what were you fletching? Were you doing bows with bowstrings or
fucking amethyst darts?
Oh well, yeah, that's definitely different.
I said I'm a main account and I got a T-bow split.
I got money to spend.
I got a T-bow split, a scythe split.
I got early onset arthritis to get.
Nah, Bird. Hear me out. Right. So for the
were you
first
doing the mobile gaming where you like use 2 fingers?
No, I fucking zoomed in. I went to my phone's accessibility settings, zoomed into my inventory, just back and forth.
Genius.
Yeah, it's good. It was crusty.
I've heard
it's
even without that, even without the zoom in tech, I've heard that mobile is the way to go for like using one item on another repeatedly.
So much better. It is so much better than clicking because I did about 3 odd mil of clicking before bingo. I felt terrible. I wanted to get all 7 mil in a day before bingo, but it just did not shape out that way.
Meanwhile, here I am fletching maple longbows unstrung. Certified Iron Man moment.
Don't worry. Only 9,000 more runs of fucking temple trekking to get all the bowstrings.
I will not be doing that. That will not be happening.
But you could have the amount of bowstring or bows.
I could do that.
Fletch.
I remember early on when I was more stupid, I was like, man, maybe I'll get all the bowstrings for these. No, I will not be doing that. Let me check how many I have 141,000 unstrung bows.
That is only a couple
days.
Wow.
It's only a couple of like months,
weeks
I feel like.
Temple trekking. It's like Swampletics level temple trekking.
Yeah.
Surely you got this.
I think I'm good. I'll pass. I will continue giving my royal subjects money, and they will continue giving me maple logs, and I will continue to click on those with a knife.
I have neglected my kingdom now on 2 accounts.
Nice.
I don't think I've been back to my kingdom since 2022 on my main. And I don't think I ever will.
I need to go back to my kingdom right this instant. Not right this, I'm not going to do it later. But the way I do it, I think I said this on the episode I was on with Michael. The way I do it is I do my Tears of Guthix only because it reminds me every week that, hey, you can go drink from the Tears of Guthix. And then after I do that, I also manage my kingdom. So it is like my reminder of like, hey, you should go do that as well. That is my strategy, and it has worked out for me.
I would 100 million% forget. I'm going to be honest.
That's fair.
I haven't done Tears of Guthix in forever either.
I mean,
people are like, "Oh, are you Tears of Guthix?" Dude, my Tears of Guthix goes into fucking construction.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think for like a lot of accounts, it's just absolutely not worth the fucking time. Like, you're literally better off just like going and training whatever skill you're gonna get XP from than going to Tears of Guthix. So like, who cares? But for me right now, it's actually going into prayer, and I'm a stinky Iron Man. So free prayer XP is free prayer XP. We take those.
That ain't too bad. It'll take a little bit of free prayer XP, you know. Yeah, I am about 90k ahead of construction in runecrafting, so I have 90 in both, and I have 425 remaining to 91 runecrafting and 514k remaining to 91 con. So I could spend 10 minutes doing construction to ensure that my Tears of Guthix permanently go into runecrafting, but because like runecrafting could surpass smithing and herb lore if I just don't train them, you know?
True. But why?
But
why would you care? Is this really worth the effort? I don't think so.
I really wouldn't. You know, I really would not. I gotta count check random underwater. Which turns out drift netting is an instance, which I did not know until earlier this week.
That does make sense, but I also did not know that.
Yeah, I was streaming DriftNet last week, and Michael came by to troll me, I think, or just like sit there and hang out like he often does. And he tried to come in and he's like, dude, it's an instance. It won't let me. I'm like, I'm seriously in an instance right now? I thought people just didn't DriftNet. Like, I literally thought I was just not competing with other people training this skill, which was weird that I had gone like 2 mil XP without seeing anybody else at the rates I was going. But
yeah, it makes sense, I guess, but not something I would have expected.
Yeah, but so by the time this episode comes out, we will absolutely have 99 fishing.
Yo, early GC.
Yeah, to early TY, man, early TY. We're gonna get it done tonight, I think, and we'll be all good. We'll be schmoving. I still don't know what I'm gonna do as far as maxing is concerned. Maybe we max at Xpwaste Europe. Who knows? If we don't end up going to RuneFest, is it still worth it to push myself for that weekend? I'm not sure. I will probably talk to Michael about it because he is like the main maxing consult for some of these things. he's the one who gave me that first piece of advice of like, please, please, please do the shitty skills first. And I was like, but I don't wanna. He's like, no,
and you're
do
not,
it.
and you're definitely not gonna want to later,
Bro. I tell you what, man. I think had I known the time constraint, I may have actually focused on mining a little bit more. But I also think I didn't have an iPad, so like there were a lot of wasted days when I was at work because like I don't like playing on my phone, but playing on my iPad would have been fine. So I think had I gotten like an iPad for Christmas and then actually understood how much work I needed to do, mining, because I think mining took me like 3 months.
That was a long time.
So from January to March was just one skill. And it was terrible. And I think that was not the best way to go about it. But oh well, it's fucking done now.
Yeah, it's over now. Can't change the past.
We can change the future though. We can change the future by
in fact change the future.
Not having RuneFest happen. Yeah, currently we have 84 days until when RuneFest will happen at the time of this recording. So we'll be at 79, 78 days by the time this episode actually comes out. We're still pushing back against the XP per day, which is not looking good. It's currently, because it just changed days, it bumped up to 488k XP a day. So any XP in the skills I need left, I need 488k of it, which will reduce as we train viables. Because we're sitting on construction, herb lore, smithing, and thieving. And hunter, technically, as fast skills. With the only two slow ones remaining being rune crafting and wood cutting. So we could be smashing that bitch out.
I think it's possible. It's definitely possible.
It's possible. It's
not even that unreasonable.
It's going to be a fucking shitload of work, and I still have to decide if it's even worth it, especially if we don't go overseas.
Yeah.
But the haters will say it's fake. So we'll figure it out. We'll get there. How are you feeling about sending us to break, Bird? What do you think? I know this has been a bit of an impromptu. I texted Bird at like what would have been probably 7:15 his time in the morning.
Let's find out.
It was like, hey, plans have changed. I don't have a co-host. Do you want to hop on the show? And he's like, yeah, sure. I guess.
Why not?
So, yeah. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter one. I know it's been a little bit more disjointed. We have some plans for some more structured episodes going forward. A little peek behind the curtain so you guys, know we're not crazy when we say that. We want to do a best non-boss moneymaker episode. Somebody gave a suggestion in the Xpwaste chat. I'm going to give credit where credit is due here, although I might have to scroll up pretty decently far. Somebody suggested we do a tier list of every AFK skilling method in the game.
Holy shit.
Jives, he said, a tier list of various AFK/low intensity skilling methods. That one's going to be a fucking heater.
That would be a juicier episode.
I'm excited for that.
Especially if you do like literally every single training method. Like not literally, because if we do literally every single one, but yeah, all the ones that are actually like worth considering at least.
Yeah. Huh. That one, I think that one's going to be an absolute heater. Tune in for that one whenever that one comes around. And then we'll have more content obviously planned coming your way. In lieu of not thinking we were going to do an episode this week, Michael and I are going to meet in between this recording and when this episode comes out and lock down a few more ideas for you guys, because as we've told you, we're not a big news post podcast. We know of a good one.
They're not releasing episodes right now, but
might release an episode
at some point. If you're interested in hearing about what happened in the game for the past like 3 months, maybe 4, maybe even 5 by the time they actually release.
I'm telling you, when it comes back, it's a great listen. Go listen to Guthix Rest. Just like in general, period. But they're the people to go to for the news posts and things like that. Because Michael and I don't know. I just get bored, I think, talking about news posts for too long.
I like talking about it. I think it's interesting. I also like giving my completely unprofessional and probably extraordinarily very biased in certain directions opinions on these changes. So whether or not people like that, I don't know, but I do it anyways. And yeah.
Yeah. That's Guthix Rest Podcast.
It's
everybody.
all right.
It's pretty solid. With that, though, we are going to send you guys off to break, and we will see you guys after this.
Howdy folks, my name's Prospector Percy and we're looking for some fine young adventurers who want to hone and grind their skills. Now if this sounds like you, then you gotta come on down to Motherlode Mine. Down here we got everything you need to train up them gathering and artisan skills. We got hammers, we got pickaxes, we got dwarves, we got other adventurers, we got a bank, and we got some baby moles. We've even got Grandma! Howdy Grandma! Howdy Percy! You better go come on down here looking for ores, and let me tell you, we got all sorts. We got coal, we got gold, we got mithril, we got adamantite, and even runite. And where do all them there ores come from? Say it with me, fellas. Pay dirt! That's right, folks, them there walls are lined with pay dirt. Mine a bag full and toss them on the conveyor belt. Watch it go down the water. Say hi to the baby mole for me. Once it hits the sack, go mine some more. Load your pay dirt on till the bag is full and fix that dang wheel. When your sack is all full and you're picking through them rocks, you might find some of them there gold nuggets. I'll take them off your hands for all sorts of goodies like bags of gems and bags for coal and bags for more pay dirt. I've even got some fancy mining clothes because who doesn't love a fishing fashion skate? Cart your way down to Falador to the Mudload Mine just next to the mining guild to make all your pay dirt dreams come true.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial because Bird said it was just okay, which I think is a little critical.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it nonetheless.
Listen, you have to be real with these things. You know, if it is not up to the quality standards, you have to be willing to give that criticism. You know,
It doesn't mean you need to be prepared to take it on your own podcast. Anyways. It is that time of the episode where we thank our lovely patrons. This community section is going to look a little bit different. Kind of, a little bit, maybe. But the patrons are going to stay the same. So for like the second or third week in a row, we what's it called? We still don't have any new patrons. I'm fairly certain. Unless I'm stupid. I keep hitting new this month and I've not seen anyone pop up. Which is okay. We just don't have any new ones for no new wise old men, which are on screen now. Though they have been on screen for at least a minute. The lovely people who support us,
Pog
at the wise old man tier. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, you're wonderful. And there's your name right there on screen.
Beautiful.
Otherwise, though, there is another tier of people who do get shouted out, and that is our absolutely incredible King Black Dragon tier, who we do shout out by name every single week. So, kicking us off in the KBD tier, we have Apathy, Boston Sport, Broke 70, Chaos Cleric, My Dad. Hi, Dad. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Happy Father's
Cloud
Day.
Kicker, Corpse Fiance, Damon S., Dicky Bird, Elite Oreo Donkey, Just Married June 8th, 666. Hey, yo, congratulations, Satan. I wasn't there, though, so I don't know who you got married to, which is a little sus. It wasn't me, but okay. Congratulations either way, I guess. GC friend. Our third favorite supporter, Ralph, Run Metal 15, my boy Soggy Waffles, Seppi J, who I think I saw for the first time tonight in the recording booth chat. Finally, I think we finally got around to having him in the chat. Unless he's been around and I've just not noticed him, which I feel like I usually notice the people who are in there. But Friday night recording brings out a whole new wave of folks. It's been great. Sparky Life, the Big G Jordy, the Crayola Tallymorn, Vespula's Swole Thorax Stimulator 2000. That's got to get him put on a watch, surely. Right? You got to get some help. And finally, because someone was unfortunate enough to follow that up, Warbatroning? Is that how you say that name? Warbatroning. Yeah, that's a sick ass name to follow that up with. I'm not gonna lie. Warbatroning. That's fantastic. Thank you guys for your fantastic support at the King Black Dragon tier. If you would like to support at the King Black Dragon tier or at any tier, head over to patreon.com/Xpwaste, and you guys can do that for as little as $1 a month, or you can do it for free. Like I said, that link will be in the description down below. Another link that'll be in the description down below. This time we got fucking visual. All right, here's the deal, folks. We've been talking about this fucking Pride merch, right? And we're super excited for it. We released a bunch of new designs that correspond to a few of the various Pride flags. I still didn't design any of them, which I think is funnier than shit. But they're there, right? We have bi, lesbian, and trans now, I'm pretty sure. Go check those out. I put in an order because I didn't have any of the shit. And I got it. Look at that.
Yo.
That's cool as hell. Hold on.
The colors look pretty nice. Very vibrant.
That's cool as hell.
Looks very nice.
The color of the shirt is the ox blood. The ox blood color with the rainbow. It's pretty sick.
The rainbow pops.
The P. Good. Yeah, dude. It's real nice. The P in Xpwaste stands for pride, which also, funny enough, is the code you could use on our website, xpwaste.shop, for 15% off your entire order. Michael and I are going to be donating all of the proceeds from every item. I just punched my microphone there. I'm so excited. All the proceeds we make from every single item sold in the shop for the month of June will be donated to an LGBTQIA charity. And we know which one it is, but I forgot the name of it. It's the same one that Hannah and Jagex are donating to, because if Hannah's doing it, all the cool kids are doing it, right? You know, we're 1 for 1 on charities Hannah's donated to, so we're just gonna donate to that one too, because yeah, it's Pride Month. Why not make it a good, fun cause? So head over to xpwaste.shop and secure yourself some sick ass merch. I also got myself a hoodie recently too. Which Michael said shrunk, and I'm 100% certain it didn't. I ordered a hoodie that's way too big for me, and it didn't shrink like he said it would. I think he misclicked the sizes or doesn't know what size hoodie it is.
There is a surprising number of people that I think don't actually know what size of clothing they should be getting for themselves.
I had the same problem for a little while. I was convinced I needed to get like extra large regular shirts, which after a while weren't good because I kept having to do the big guy pull and I never understood why. And it's because they weren't long enough for me. Because I need like the XL t-shirts, and now at this point I need 2XL. But it's a weird dichotomy because 2X is a little too big, but sometimes XLT is a little too tight. So it just depends on the clothing brand. I hate shopping for clothes. By the way,
shopping for clothes,
absolutely
online shopping
it.
for clothes is just terrible.
I never do it. I have to be in person. I have to see it. I have to try it on. I like wearing nice clothes. Shopping for clothes is a horrible, horrible, horrible experience for me.
I should just be able to think of a piece of clothing and manifest it in front of me. When are we inventing that technology?
Honestly, I wish we could, man. I wish I could look as good in clothing as I think I do when I picture myself wearing that clothing, right? Because it's hard. My big boys out there. It's tough to find. It's tough to find good clothes, especially if you're trying to like be at all slutty during Pride Month. It's difficult to do, man. I got called out for wearing my Duke Succulus shirt way too often. Somebody, I think Immortal in the VC chat was like, yeah, dude, you've worn your Duke Succulus shirt in the last 3 Instagram posts and stories that you've had. I'm like, no, I haven't. I have 100%. I'm in the Duke shirt every single time.
I don't see the
because it's a shirt it's a shirt that I put on and think, God damn,
it's a good
shirt quite a bit. So go find Mitchy Fox on Twitter and go buy their shit too. I don't think they're offering a discount code, but absolute gas. Go buy that stuff too. Like I said, xpwaste.shop, code PRIDE, the entire order, 15% off, donating it to charity. Do it. Just, go ahead and donate to charity and get some sick-ass merch in the process, guys. It is community question time, and normally I would throw it over to Michael, but this week, Michael's imitating BirdFacts, and he's imitating him so well that he doesn't have the login for the Xpwaste Spotify for podcasters account.
I really had to commit to the bit. I had to forget it.
Yeah, he just completely wiped it. He doesn't have the login to anything, so he can't help us with the community question on Spotify, but he can help us with the community question on YouTube. Beep, 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 beep. I'm going to send you the YouTube link now, Bird. You can go down to the pinned comment on YouTube.
It is actually pinned.
It's actually pinned
Let's
this
go.
time. Thank you, Michael. It's actually pinned. I'm going to do the Spotify ones, and then you can follow us up and do the YouTube ones, because you are getting roped into doing way more than you signed up for.
That's
here on XP
That's all right. I already got roped into more than I was signed up for with the Guthix Rest podcast, so... I'm used to that at this point. It was just
gonna be like,
I thought I was just shooting the shit with Spari every week, like, Then I had to start making thumbnails and all these social assets, and then I for some reason was compelled to do YouTube edits for a couple weeks. That was terrible.
Amassed a following. There are people waiting for my return.
I can join the weirdest thing. It's still weird to me is sometimes I'll join voice chats in TNL. Which very rarely occurs, as you know. I very rarely interact.
Yeah,
with
once a year,
Planker's been dragging my ass in here sometimes because we'll do like CMs or whatever with people in here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'll show up and I have no idea who these people are, and they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Bird?" I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" That is something I'm getting used to. I hope I don't have to continue getting used to it because we're not that popular.
Look me in the eyes. You say that, we're not that popular. It's not going to matter. Just wait till somebody fucking recognizes you in game.
Oh, that one actually happened pretty quick.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That one was also kind of awkward because I think it was somebody that was on a Green Helm account. And I think certain things about Green Helm account. Yeah, that's the reaction I have. Dude, I already feel bad being a Blue Helm sometimes. Like, I've gotten to the point where I can no longer lie to myself and say that I don't regret being a Blue Helm. I just do at this point. Like, it was fun for like the first week, but now that I'm committed to playing the account and Spari never plays his, and our other friend plays it sometimes, from time to time. But he mostly does skilling stuff. I should have just played an Iron. But I don't know. I think I had this discussion with Michael on the episode where we talked about Group Iron. I don't know that I ever would have. I think I was very convinced that Iron Man was not for me, and then I tried Group Iron Man, and I have discovered that I was fucking wrong. Iron Man is definitely for me.
I have found, because I like games where I have to do everything myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing solo Valheim right now because I think that's a lot of fun. For some reason, I think because I know how to play RuneScape as well as I do, and I have the knowledge that I do of this game, the upkeep of everything, I think, killed it for me. I think had I started playing this game as an Iron Man, maybe I could have, because the idea of that kind of progression does feel really good. But frankly, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and that's
I couldn't have done it.
The upkeep
We're
is
so wildly off topic. Of what
I
we're
will finish
supposed to be
my
talking
sentence
about.
here, but then we should definitely go to the thing that we're actually supposed to talk about. I think that's the reason I haven't quit and just moved to a regular Iron, is because at this point I have done so much upkeep and I have so much in terms of supplies and stuff that I'm well, I can't just quit now. I've got all this shit that I need to use eventually doing PVM or skilling or whatever. So
Exactly.
I'm in too deep.
That's a conversation for a different time. And the conversation for now is the community question.
What is the community question?
The community question, last week we asked you guys, are there any quests we should have had on our list? So for those of you who were not here last week, go listen to that episode. Pause this one. Go listen to the entirety of last week's episode. and then come back to us. So last week, Michael and I talked about the best quest to do on your account here in 2024. Because the last time we did that episode, it was 2 days before Beneath Cursed Sands was even released into the game. So a lot of stuff has come out and a lot of stuff has changed since then. We put a lot of really good quests on there, like, Perilous Moons, Beneath Cursed Sands, Desert Treasure 2. And then we had some old favorites, right? Some old favorites like Good Old Recipe for Disaster, Slug Menace, things like that. So go check out that episode. But we asked you guys, are there any quests we should have had on that list that we didn't? So kicking us off, oldest to newest, Dinosaur, a name usually reserved for the fun question section of the show. Dinosaur says, gotta be Waterfall for me. Fresh off Tutorial Island, go run to Waterfall, straight to 30 attack and strength. Early game melee is a 0 factory, so getting a big head start is massive for any account. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, this is just true.
Waterfall is pretty good. That is, yeah.
I really have nothing to add here.
Full stop. No objection. Waterfall is a good quest. I think the reason why we didn't include it is because, number one,
it's just obvious.
I feel like it's obvious in that most people who are in the game community long enough know that. But at the same time, the people that we kind of communicate with on this show, the more like mid, early, late game player base that we have, is not going to go from 1 to 30. They're going to go from like 62 to almost 63,
or they
with that kind of an XP buff,
or they won't change levels at all because they probably already did the quest like ages ago.
Exactly, yeah. So that's one of the reasons why we didn't include it. But yeah, overall, again, full stop, objectively correct answer.
If you haven't done it, honestly, just go do it. Even if you have 99, it's so fast. Why have you not done it?
If you haven't done it, you also haven't done Song of the Elves. So we have a significant.
You've got a problem.
99 attack and strength. We have a significantly bigger.
I have a
issue
problem
if you have
with
not
you.
done that quest. Yeah. Papa Smurf 080 says the trials of Cook's Assistant should not be overlooked. That is correct. Cook's Assistant is quite the difficult quest, offering a pretty hefty XP reward. It takes a staggering 8 seconds to complete if you pre-prep the supplies going into it. You can actually finish the quest, I am fairly certain, without leaving the dialogue section when you talk to the cook for the first time. I've not done it in a long time, so I don't know if I could tell you. But if you get an egg, a bucket of milk, and some flour, and you're talking to the cook starting the quest, you can finish it immediately without having to change, like, exit dialogue window. Fizzman15 says, Haunted Mind deserves a shout. You better have a good answer for this one. That salve amulet is a massive boost for a bunch of bosses and can even be used for endgame content. All right. I'll give you. All right. Salve
is big, but it's only big in a select number of places. Like 2 of the raids, yes, you do use it. Arguably, you could do chambers without it. You just never do mystics. But like,
or you just have a shadow. Duh.
Yeah, true. Also, and is shadow better in CMs? I don't think it is. Right. I don't think
I don't own a shadow with enough CMs. I couldn't tell you.
My only experience with this is that Planker has both. He has Mega Max gear, and I never see him use shadow at Mystics. So I'm going to assume Tebow Salve is better in CMs. I don't know for sure.
Okay,
but regardless, outside of that and like Vorkath, like I don't know, maybe you use it against like zombie pirates.
The Vorkath is a real good money.
Vorkath is a real good moneymaker. That is not something that I think about. I also despise Vorkath. I think I would.
I love Vorkath.
I think I would like Vorkath a lot more if my best weapon against Vorkath was not a DHCB right now. I think I would find melee Vorkath a lot more interesting.
A DHCB is still not too bad. Sorry, my cat was trying to bust into my other piece of Xpwaste merch that wasn't unwrapped. It's the Xpwaste minimalist shirt.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, bam. This is an older design that we've had for a while, and I've wanted for a while, but never got. So now we got the Xpwaste minimalist.
Very nice.
It's looking quite sick. And blue has damn near put a claw hole in it. Sick. Thanks, babe. Love that cap.
Yeah, no, it's not that the DHCB is bad necessarily, right? Like DHCB salve, like it's really good. I just find it boring. I think that melee Vorkath and like running around like an idiot with melee is just more entertaining to me.
It's more engaging. Yeah. Well, Fizzman, I'll give it to you. I almost axed you, but I'll give it to you because salve is
good.
Useful enough. It's useful enough.
If you're grinding for your zombie axe, for example.
Exactly.
That's 15 or whatever % damage. Huge.
Yep. Danicus says, he says, yo, Danicus here, a.k.a. Oxie's exposed chest. And he spelled Oxie's wrong. Fantastic. I would love to shout out Ritual of the Majorat. A little love to my RS2 days. That quest was S tier. Thank you for the podcast. Ooh woo, ooh woo, ooh woo. Ligma balls. Ooh woo heart. Man, it doesn't get much better than that, Danicus. Thank you for that.
I had to double check and make sure that quest was not in fact in the game.
It is not. Ritual of the Majorat. So for those of you who don't know, Ritual of the Majorat is what I think is the big finale of all the Majorat quests in RS2, RS3. Ritual of the Majorat is probably going to be the biggest and most difficult quest we've ever seen in the game when it comes out, because it will require both, I would think,
While
Guthix Sleeps and Desert Treasure 2.
Yes.
Any quest that requires Desert Treasure 2 as a prereq is
going to be crazy. It's going to be a big one.
So when that quest comes out, take the day off, strap in and strap on for a 14-hour guideless day of doing quests. It's going to be a good time.
I do say when/if because there is the chance that they pull this is the same quest but we renamed it tech.
Oh, yeah, maybe. We'll see.
It is possible, but I think since we're getting While Guthix Sleeps just word for word, I think most likely with the Majorat quest, they're probably going to continue word for word again. It's the
most
nostalgia
likely,
bait, really.
Because Desert Treasure 2 is also the name of the quest, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. I don't think Desert
RS3.
Treasure 2 is a thing in RS3.
RS3 DT2. Desert Treasure. Oh, look at that. No, there's Desert Treasure. What's it required for? This quest, Desert Treasure, is required for. Where do you get the fucking ancient prayers?
Oh, the curses or whatever, yeah.
The Curse of Zaros is a mini quest. Is it the Temple of Santistan? No.
Yeah,
Let me see.
I knew that Desert Treasure 2 was different from RS3. I couldn't remember. Like, what's the prereqs for? Like,
oh, you know what? It is it. Yeah, it is. So Temple of Santistan offers the ancient curses. You have to read the ancient hymnal. So the Temple of Santistan is Desert Treasure 2, apparently. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what they might do? But yeah, that is what that looks like. Spotted1235 says, "Can Oxie talk in a British accent more often, please?" I'll consider it. Mark Cat, our resident UIM, says, this is perfect. I have fond memories of Regicide for access to the Dragon Halberd, but Biohazard is a must-do for me for the Artoyan Easy Diary. I know I'm crazy, so you don't need to say it, but I love the Underground Pass quest.
I don't love it, but I will see that it is iconic.
If there was ever... that's like saying Underground Pass is iconic in the same way that like Pearl Harbor is iconic. You know, it's like not for a good reason.
Is it wrong,
necessarily? You may not be correct, but it might not. But it's like,
I'm out of line, but I'm right.
Good God. Satan is married now, 666. Once again, GZ King. He says, I feel that you left out the best quest of all. One so amazing and so small of a quest. One could call it a favorite to many. No. One small favor.
What do you get from this quest? The key ring?
You get the key ring. I feel like you get other stuff. Like, one small favor is essential in something.
Oh,
I'm not crazy.
Actually, you learn how to make Guthix Rest in that quest. I am legally bound to like that quest.
There it is, baby. It's been a plug the whole time. It has been a plug the whole time. go listen to the Guthix Rest podcast on Spotify and YouTube, Apple Music, all those fancy platforms. I know what platforms they are on because many moons ago they asked us how we distributed our show, and they distribute it the same way. So I know what platforms they're on.
It's true.
Because of the Spotify distributing thing.
It works.
Andrew says, Underground Pass. There's no way. We can do that, dog. You earn the privilege to get bent by the game and thrown from your early mid-game high horse. All right. Well, that's a mildly better answer. Still get some help, man. HP Healer says, Song of the Elves just goes hard with rewards such as Gauntlet, Volcano, and Priff in general.
I fucking love Song of the Elves.
It is next on the quest tier list after Dragon Slayer 2. Dragon Slayer 2 and Song of the Elves are two absolutely bitchin' quests.
They're such bangers.
They are absolute bangers, great rewards, great times. If you've not done Dragon Slayer 2, I know I say this a lot. I really encourage you to play with game sounds on.
Dragon Slayer 2 literally uses the menu music of the game in the quest. It is that quest.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna let it be a surprise. But now that
I won't say where it is, but it's in the quest. It happens. You know when you play a video game and you hear the title theme in the game? That happens in this quest. It's big. You gotta do it.
When I first heard it, because it happens at a pretty integral moment towards the end of the quest. It's like, oh God, this is tense and kind of exciting. And I remember when the screen kind of faded in.
It was
good. Like the music started da 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 da, and I'm like, man, that's such a huge cop out that they did not make a new track and they just used the menu music. This kind of sucks. But then you listen to how the menu music builds and builds and builds. And then those horns finally come in. Holy shit. I was streaming that quest. I said, hold on, guys. I may have been mistaken. The menu music goes so insanely hard at this segment of the quest. Oh,
yeah,
baby.
It fits.
Play
right
with
in.
game music.
It's very good. I recommend that
Please
for every
play
quest in the game, personally. Game sounds and music.
100%.
If you've done it before, like, sure. Okay, whatever. You can just crank the quest out. But if you're doing quests for the first time, please play with both game sound and game music on. You got to have the experience.
Truly, truly life-changing, that moment. Dudeheim said, Dudeheim? I think it's Dudeheim. Dudeheim says, one small favorite with that untradeable best in slot patience it gave me for other quests like Dragon Slayer 2. I understand why Michael has a hard time with these sometimes. The patience, listen, man. Does it help or hinder that we know how long the quest takes going into it?
I think it definitely hinders.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. When I did it on this account, my group Iron Man, having already had a quest cape on my main, I was like, man, I remember that cape's long, or that quest is long, and it kind of sucks. I think it is not as long as many people will, like, have it in their minds that it is.
It's really not, but there's like a mythos around it now because they mention it in the game several times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I just need you to do one small favor. Every time the combination of words, one small favor comes up from an NPC, your character has like a fucking war.
Actual fucking Vietnam flashbacks, dude. Straight back into the jungles of Karamcha, because that's where the quest starts.
Yeah, truly.
One day, these motherfuckers are going to drop one small favor too. They're going to do it.
I do.
And I hope it's just called one small favor too. Or another small favor or something.
The most call it like one more thing.
That would also be good.
Make it the most egregiously long, like Rag and Bone Man 2 is child's play compared to how long this fucking quest takes. Shit.
But I think simultaneously somehow make it kind of a banger. That would be impressive.
It's possible.
Like only kind of a banger though, you know? Like there are some parts of it that are pretty sick, but it's still this long drawn out piece of shit quest.
Make the community anticipate the worst quest in the world and actually knock our socks off with how good it is. Air quotes says the Fremenic Isles because it unlocks the Helm of Nadesna, which you take everywhere, even though you cannot spell it, dude. I type NEI in the Grand Exchange. I need to buy more and just let Jesus take it. Like, I have no idea how to spell it. But yeah, the Nezi Helm, especially on a mid-game Iron Man account, Nezi Helm's your best.
You're wearing that for so long.
For a pretty decently long amount of time. Like, you could get Serp Helm early, but Serp Helm has an upkeep.
It has an upkeep, and it's not like that much better, right? I think it's 2 more strength bonus. Yeah, it is.
Nezi is going to be your friend for a long time. Swole says the Riveting Tale. Now, that's a good answer.
That is a good quest.
It teaches users about democracy and the understanding of how to overthrow your opposition. All right, comrade, I like it. Has one of the hardest boss fights, and Marcellus is surely in a Ket hole. I don't know what a Ket hole is, and I think I'm gonna go it's a ketamine induced it's a K hole. Hell yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, he's in a cat hole, sure. All that other stuff is true, but if you have not done this quest, prepare for the boss fight. Don't look up a guide.
Unironically, don't. Like, this is not a joke.
Do not look up a guide. Just bring a full, I brought Elite Void Tribrid. That's going to work for you, too.
I brought full Graceful.
If you don't have Elite Void Tribrid, good luck.
Yeah.
And then finally on Spotify, as of 32 minutes ago, man made it in barely under the wire here because we've given you guys a staggering 24 hours once again, which is totally our fault. Sorry, guys. For the community question this week, DJ says, Monk's Friend, because throwing parties for you is the best quest unlock.
It is a good
Monk's
unlock.
Friend. I know for Michael, it was the quest where he got his quest cape, and they had the party for his quest cape in the thing because he saved it for that so they could have the balloons.
Yeah, because it's not required for anything.
Exactly. I always remember Monk's Friend as it just screams Trailblazer 2 or Leagues 2 to me, because in Leagues 2 back in the day, the Kandarin region was so overpowered.
It was fucking insane.
Everybody took it basically first. Right?
You either took it immediately,
Mauritania and Asgardia.
You either took it immediately, or you weren't taking it because you were like the guy that was like, "No, I'm going to go against the meta." Those were the only 2 options.
I'm going to get to run when.
Don't fucking out me like this.
Listen, it was different in Leagues 2. Okay?
Yeah,
it was very different.
It was very different.
Leagues 1.
I'm going to be honest.
There was no Bofa in the initial Trailblazer League, so it was a very different landscape if you chose Taranwin, right? And every time you would teleport back, because the tack was last recall was brand new, right? So you would fight something. Let's say you're killing gargoyles and you run out of prayer points, right? You would fight gargoyles till you ran out of prayer points. With the Orb of Memories or the Crystal Memories in your inventory, you would use your Artie Cloak 1 to get back to the monastery, and you would then use the altar, and then you would Crystal Memories back to kill gargoyles. The amount of people who did Monk's Friend in the first month that game mode was active, every single time you went back, there were always balloons on the ground. It was like a common thing. Regardless of what League's World you were on, there was always going to be balloons on the ground because somebody had just completed that quest.
And if somebody hadn't just completed it, somebody caused the party to happen just for fun.
Can you cause the party after you finish the quest?
Yeah, I believe you can talk to him and be like, let's party. And it'll just cause more balloons to drop.
Oh, that's so cool.
Feel free to fact check me right now, but I'll do it myself.
171k away from fishing.
I'll do it myself.
I gotta keep drifting.
I could go on the wiki and search this, but I am playing the video game. I can just go check.
Exactly.
Hello.
That wraps up our Spotify community question, and the lovely BirdFacts, or Michael pretending to be BirdFacts this week, has the YouTube community question. So, Bird, take it away.
Sorry, I was checking. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'm misremembering. Anyways, YouTube questions or answers to the question underneath the pinned comment that Michael, pinned. The first one from BFrank6501 is animal magnetism for the Avas. Yeah, I mean, it's a good one to have. The Avas, I always forget the name of the first one. Is it a tractor accumulator assembler, I think?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, regardless, you're getting either the attractor or the accumulator. It's good. Not having to pick up as many arrows. Good. Very nice.
And also, you use it everywhere forever.
Just for so long. Unless you're some like weirdo nowadays that's like finishing Coliseum somehow with some weird ass account. Probably not happening though. That is some wacky shit. Anyways, next we've got Jake Schmitz 1182 saying, "While Guthix sleeps, I am from the future." I mean, I can't argue. I can't argue with that.
I believe it. Yeah, we can't prove that he's not.
It probably is a pretty banger quest to do. You know, the quest is probably good. And
I heard Burning Claws are going to be better than Dragon Claws.
Yeah, in some places, I believe. Yeah,
Theater of Blood. In Theater of Blood,
are they going to be better in TOA at core because they're 30%? Are they going to be like better than DDS? I wonder.
Holy crap, that might be better than DDS.
Yeah, because they'll be 15% spec energy, and they'll be 3 hits, and it'll be decent strength. I'm sure someone's already done the calc and has proved me either correct or incorrect. I have not. I don't do like DPS calcs for upcoming items. I just like wildly speculate and hope that I'm correct. But just kind of like running the numbers in my head, it seems like they'd be pretty banger there. They might be better than DDS.
On the surface, it makes sense, right? Oh, man.
Because DDS is like 13.5% spec energy at I don't remember.
Yeah, 12% roughly, yeah.
I don't remember what it is. But yeah, it would be comparable, and you're getting 3 hit spots now for 15. So it might be better.
That could actually go insanely hard.
Now,
well, it doesn't time to dump the bank in the dirt Burning Claws when they come out.
It doesn't matter too much because DDS is fucking literally like as common as water. You can just get one.
But the question is, with the lack of the Avernic, are you going to be doing the same?
True. Yeah, that is true. Hard to say. True.
So we'll have to get in the lab and test it out. When Wild Guthix Sleeps comes out.
They will definitely be comparable, but if they are worse, I mean, there's no reason to bring them because getting a DDS is super easy. Like you can just go get one. So yeah. The other thing I want to say about Wild Guthix Sleeps real quick. Prayer alignments info? Jagex? What's going on?
They're not doing them.
Have they announced that somewhere? I haven't seen it.
Yeah. They said, and I want to say, it was the rewards blog. They said they're tabling the idea for a different time. No, maybe they said it in the live stream, but we talked about it because Michael and I covered.
I think it was in the live stream because I think Spari was saying something about they said something about it in the live stream.
Yep, they are tabling the idea. Hopefully, they put it in for something different, but it just the way the idea was in its current state, it just wasn't there. Like they're not cooking with something. But it's not finished yet, right? There's like needs a little bit more time on the.
And I'm gonna keep it real for a second. What a fucking disappointment! I get it, but having been excited for the concept of new prayer thing from Desert Treasure 2, and then being disappointed, but understanding when they scrapped that, and now getting here, I still understand. I get it. We shouldn't push something in that's like really stupid or really powerful for no reason. But I can't help but be a little disappointed.
Yep.
So
I feel it. Someday we'll get there. Maybe they'll let God alignments be a thing in Leagues 5.
Yeah. I don't know. I want something not like extremely earth-shattering, but something a little crazy to happen to the main game, Something I wanted to see for a long time. I don't want fucking like some EOC type shit, obviously. The game should still play the way that it does. But something perhaps a little spicier than...
shake up the meadows.
Shake things up. Something a little spicier than, hey guys, you can now hit demons better. Which is great. Don't get me wrong. I like the Demon Bane items. It's a great reward, but it's not nearly as cool as God Alignments. Anyways.
Fair enough. Who do we have next?
Tiny Gamer 99 says Lost City, Fairy Tale 1 and starting Fairy Tale 2 as a unit. So combining
For fairy
all
rings.
of those to unlocking fairy rings upon completing all of those. Yeah. It's a good upgrade. It's big.
Bundle that together is a good. Yeah, that's good.
It is for that early game transportation, it is actually huge. There are a lot of places that are annoying to get to that are less annoying to get to. And combine that with having the Artie cloak, solid. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to whoever got rid of the tree on the west side of the fairy ring at both the Legends Guild and the Tower of Life.
Bless. The Tower of Life one was such a huge upgrade. Holy shit.
I was going to... unironically, because I am such a spiteful little being... I was going to vote no on that if they didn't also get rid of that bush next to the one at the Legends Guild. But then they did the Legends Guild one. I was like, all right, they can both be in the game. This is acceptable. I do a lot of spite voting because I want something else to happen before that happens.
What a man.
I'm a little rat. I'll be honest. Anyways, next on the list is Spencered 6126. If we're going to include mini quests, then MA2 is an obvious pick. Otherwise, I'd say the suite of standard intro level skipping quests, your Waterfall Fight, Arena Night, or Doric's Quest, Sea Slug, and Fairy Tale 1. MA2 is big. There are a lot of people that are cowards and don't want to do MA2 for a long time.
Womp womp.
Suck it up. Do it. It's totally worth it.
Do it now.
Get it
Stop
over with.
listening to
I
this
promise
episode.
you, it's not that bad. If you get
Come
PK'd,
back when
you
you
are
have
a
a major
statistical
injury.
anomaly. I promise you.
Oh, shout out for your boy being a statistical anomaly. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, so way back in the day, God, I ain't got to tell this story in forever. Way back in the day, I was doing Major Arena 2. I was going to go kill the Zammy boss or whatever it was. And for some reason, I was like, I don't know how long this fight's going to take. I better take all my blood runes. Like 3,000 blood runes. Which back then, for me, when blood runes were more expensive and I got them all from Barrows, it was a lot of blood runes. Because I was also a super poor noob. And I went out there and, dude, I got met at the fucking Edgeville lever. Just past the cobwebs. But this guy wasn't great. And I'm like, I'm kind of kicking this guy's ass. Like, I got a DDS spec. I'm ready to anti-PK. I'm just going to, I think that was my problem. I brought up DDS thinking I was going to anti-PK. And the guy who fought me admittedly wasn't that good. But I also was even worse at the time. And he killed me. And I fucking lost my Dark Mystic. I lost all my blood runes. I lost all my fire runes. Like, it was a pretty significant hit at the time. I was streaming, so it wasn't like the worst thing.
It was content, at least.
It was content. It was funny. It was content. But like, I'm absolutely a statistical anomaly. And I have thousands of wilderness boss KCs and wilderness activities logged. Wilderness good content. Get out there and get your goddamn MA2K if you don't have it.
I am notoriously not a wilderness enjoyer, but you'll still see me sitting here on my ass saying, go get your MA2 cape. I promise you it's not that bad.
It's worth it.
It is absolutely worth it. It is a permanent upgrade, and something that I will add, because a lot of people don't know this, if you ever lose it after completing the quest, you do not have to kill all 3 of them again. You only need to kill one of them, the one of the cape that you want.
You can just fucking
You can also, that's true. I forgot about that. We live in the fucking year of our Lord 2024. You can just go buy one for what, 250K, I think?
You used to have to kill them to get the drops back in the day. But man, oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Because I always remember telling people, you only have to kill one of them. And now, if you have 250K that you're willing to part with, you can just get it back. You can just buy it.
Of any god, too. So you only have to do it. You'll only have to do the quest one time. Or maybe you have to do it more than one time, but it just depends on how nasty we're feeling this bingo. We'll see, though. We'll see what we're feeling for fall bingo for the more particularly challenging tiles. And if you think to yourself, why would the Major Arena 2K upgrade be a challenging tile? I need you to think a little bit more broadly than that. What a tile could look like that we require that item. But we do have a few more responses here on this list.
We do. Our next one is Jordy G 8092 with a single word response. Rat catchers. Now, while this answer is moderately amusing because it is rat catchers, there is no reason to do this quest other than the ones that require it, which is like the cat storyline, I think, which also includes eventually Dragon Slayer 2, I think? Question mark?
It is literally only required for completing the medium Falador diary.
Oh, so you don't even need it for the cat storyline.
And the only reason why it is required for the Falador diary is because they made a step specifically to enter the rat pits in Port Sarim.
So it's not even that important. You don't really need to do this quest that badly. Now, getting your diaries done is big, so that is worth it. But I'm going to give this answer a failing grade. This quest did not need to be on the list.
I'm also going to give it a failing grade because for those of you who don't know, Jordy, the big G Jordy, the man himself, is one of our most common community question enjoyers. A man has nearly always responded to the community question, but he's also always nearly responded to the community question in great detail. He has always given a great, very personal level of response to our questions for like 100 fucking weeks in a row, 100 episodes in a row. For Jordy off the top rope to say just the word rat catchers
and nothing else.
I don't know, man, but I almost have to applaud him for the subversion of expectation.
That is impressive.
I almost have to applaud the subversion of expectations, but we do have one more left. We do have one more left to go.
We do, in fact, have Joel Galliano, I think is how that is pronounced. I apologize if it's not. And it's a dupe answer, but we take those. Haunted Mine for the salve does come in handy. And it does.
Facts. It does come in handy.
Previously discussed. It does. It do be useful, though.
Do be useful. Well, that is going to do it for our community question this week, folks. If you would like to answer this week's question, it would be, if you could make any change to a mini game, what would it be?
That is a good question.
I know that's only kind of tangential because we talked about the mini games and we talked about
it's a good question,
the maxing, and we talked about the RuneFest, but like, I don't know how to ask a question about RuneFest. When do we think RuneFest will be?
Predict the exact date and time of when RuneFest will be now.
It's like a baby guessing game. Like, oh, guess how much the baby's gonna weigh when it's born, you know? Only nobody in the room is pregnant. Like that's kind of what it feels like. So yeah, if you could make a change to any minigame in OSRS, what would it be?
Any of them. Bite Caves is a minigame. There's a lot of things that don't seem like minigames that are minigames.
Good God. All right, get in there and do your research and really throw us some curveballs next week. Michael's not going to know what hit him. This is normally the part in the show where we say, I'm going to throw it over to Oxie for Achievement of the Week. However, this week is going to look a little bit different because there is no Achievement of the Week. So for a while, we didn't know what the topic of this episode was going to be. And while discussing it, we also offered the option to not do an episode. So the plans got kind of jumbled and shambled. And then by the time it was like, yeah, we are doing an episode and you have the rest of the workday and you have to be a person. Achievement of the Week just didn't get done, which is a really bad look on my part, and wow, do I apologize. So yeah, there's no achievement of the week.
Hey, don't worry.
This week, unfortunately.
I achieved something this week.
Oh yeah, what did you achieve?
I got a
Brad?
5th arcane,
That
and I
is-
don't have a dex.
My brother in Christ, drops are not achievements. So I do
I
sincerely
don't know. I think getting
apologize this
5
week.
of them is kind of an achievement without getting a dex. I think I am a statistical anomaly here.
An achievement in skill issue, perhaps.
Yes, this I
Achievement only
I
in
will
skill
allow.
issue. Yeah, I do apologize. The day has unfortunately gotten away from me. I will obviously we're going to double up on achievement of the week next week. So if you didn't get shouted out this week, you're going to be in next week's achievement of the week, right? We weren't even sure if we were going to do a community section, but the number of responses that we got in under 24 hours was kind of astonishing.
Impressive.
So we thought, you know what? We're going to do community question anyways, and we'll just take the L. And you can at me in the Xpwaste chat and give me shit for that because
Honestly,
I do
at me
apologize.
too.
But of course,
Give me
you
shit
guys will
as
be.
well. I'm
Yeah,
Michael.
you know what? You know what? I'm great. Fucking at sparring. Tell him why didn't you do achievement of the week this week, Sparry? What the
Dumb man.
No, don't do that to the boy.
Do it.
Not until he moves it anyways.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll allow that.
Yeah, wait till he moves
I think
in.
by the
But because
by
there
the
is
time
no
this
achievement of the
episode
week-
releases, he might be. So if you're hearing this, it's probably fine. You can probably add him.
I'm so tempted to be like at Sparry and ask him how the move is going, but I'm not going to do
Just
that
like
to the
send him a
boy.
DM like tomorrow and be like, "Hey man, how's the move going?"
Everybody stand down. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let the boy move in peace. The grown man, the whole man that Sparry is. Let him move in peace. It is, however, fun question time. So,
Fun. I like fun.
BirdFacts, my friend, you have a fun question for us, right?
How's this work? I don't remember. I don't think we did this section when I recorded with Michael. So I don't know if I know how this works because as many times has been discussed, I don't listen to this podcast. I don't listen to my podcast. I don't listen to any podcast.
I'm gonna love it with you. I don't listen to any podcasts either.
Hell yeah.
I listen to your guys's because I like you guys.
I would
And
listen
even
to
then,
your
it's like only
I
sometimes.
would listen
Like,
to your guys's if I like remembered, hey, podcast is a thing that I can listen to. But it just like never crosses my mind. I'm at work and I'm like vibing to my music. That's all that happens.
Good Lord. I can't listen to podcasts while
I can't even listen to
I write notes.
I can't even listen to music that has like words in it when I do stuff. It distracts
Video
me.
game soundtracks.
Yep.
Telling you guys.
I'm right
Listen
there
to the
with you.
Skyrim soundtrack. Skyrim soundtrack is where it is.
I
at
am
if
right
need
there
work
with you.
done. Absolutely. So, do you have a fun question for us, Bird? Do you know what we're talking
I
about?
have no fucking idea what's going on right now. I'll keep it real with you.
All right. Well, clearly, BirdFacts did not come prepared this week for a fun
Fucking-
question.
You know what? We were just talking about Flame and Sparry. Flame me. I didn't come prepared. It's over for me.
I can't believe Michael impersonating BirdFacts did not bring a fun question. SMH, dog.
How does this work? What are we doing?
So, the fun question is a segment of the show where the viewers ask us, this is going to blow your mind, a fun question
Holy
that
shit.
we want to answer. The question is usually pretty nonsensical, and it is just like, we've had some good fun questions. Like, you know, if you could bring any OSRS item in the game into real life to decorate your house, what would it be?
Oh, I have one of those.
Where would you want to live in RuneScape? Like shit like that. Like random, various fun questions. If you could design a new boss, what would it look like? All that kind of stuff, you know?
You know,
So,
this is embarrassing to admit. I think we might have actually done this section the last time I was on here.
SMH Bird. Good.
I'll have to
God,
go back and
okay.
actually listen to this podcast. And actually, no, I will not do that because I do not want to hear my own voice. Never mind. Scratch that.
As punishment, go edit me another Lacrimosa edit. I know you know what that means.
I know
That's a
exactly
deep
what
cut
that means.
That's a deep cut for folks who follow both shows there. So we actually have a document of fun questions from way back in March when we did our 3-year anniversary episode, and they are still chock full of questions.
Banger questions?
We did not get through all of them. A banger fun questions. So I got 2 questions here, both of which are from my former bingo teammates, and I think this time we'll get to the other one, I think. But this week, it's not even going to be RuneScape related.
Oh, shit.
So we're really going to throw you for a fun loop. I'm going to ask you this question because I think you might provide me with a fun, interesting answer. Modern Major General in our fun question documents asks, what is your favorite Easter egg in any source of media?
Oh, that is an insane question.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a heater. That's a good, fun question.
The first one that comes to mind, because we were just talking about Skyrim, is the notched pickaxe. I'm not like hugely fond of that one, but it is a good one because it's subtle. I don't know that it counts as an Easter egg. Also from Skyrim, something I always think about when I'm thinking of Skyrim is just Parthenax, the dragon that you talk to at one point. That's Mario.
Yep.
It's not really an Easter egg, but I just love that piece of
Mario's
trivia.
voice.
It's such a fun piece of trivia. I'll have to think on this one for a second. Like, you got the classics, like, I don't remember which Halo game it is. It's probably all of them that have, like, the guys in their underwear as a PNG, like, in some backrooms location. Those are fucking classics.
I think it's Halo 3 has that, yeah. I think you could see it in Halo 2 on certain difficulties with certain skulls active, but it was weird how you procced it back then on one of the cutscenes.
John Romero in Doom 2, I think, in the Icon of Sin, and also being reverse in the thing the Icon of Sin says. That's a classic. Big Doom fan, so I love that one.
Okay.
I don't know of any like banger ones though. I can't think of any like huge ones. I'm just listing off like ones that I like. I don't know that I can pick a favorite here.
I mean, I think the whole point is like favorite or favorites, you know? You know what Easter eggs I get? Like, you can kind of call them Easter eggs, right? They're more like hidden challenges more than Easter eggs. So we always call them Easter eggs. Y'all ever play Zombies?
Oh, I know what
the Zombies Easter eggs, dude. That shit.
They were always
insane.
crazy.
That shit was insane.
I don't think I ever did any of them, but I'd always like look them up because I was like, what the fuck did they do on what stupid crazy shit happens on this map?
We got the one on Call of the Dead. I don't think there was one on Ascension, but we did a lot of crazy shit for Call of the Dead. We did all the achievements and shit, and then. Dude, I think it was the jungle map. The jungle temple one was the absolute worst.
Which game? Do you remember?
In the original Black Ops. The jungle temple map, I'm forgetting the name. Dude, it was the most heartbreaking thing we've ever done. We had 4 people. I was at my buddy Kale's house, and we were doing fantastic on this Easter egg. It's the furthest we've ever made it. Randomly, out of nowhere, because I'm signed into my Xbox Live account, I disconnect.
Cringe.
Only I disconnect. I get disconnected. Dude. I get kicked out of the lobby in split screen. So he gets kicked out of the lobby. The whole thing dissolves, and we don't know what happens. And I'm freaking out. And I called my dad, and I was like, dude, my Xbox Live just got signed out. What happened? This fucking guy, he goes, yeah, well, I turned the Xbox on to watch Netflix. Is everything okay? What happened? Him turning my home Xbox on signed me out of my remote profile because it popped up. It was like, oh, you're not signed into Xbox. Would you like to sign in? And he hit, yeah, that's weird. And he just clicked the A button, and he signed me out.
That is,
we were 2 steps
tragic.
Away from the achievement. Oh my God. I don't think we ever got it after that. It was the worst. I think if I find my copy of Black Ops, you know what? Actually,
he's getting up.
Hold on. I got this bitch somewhere.
For those of you that aren't in the know, Black Ops and all of the Call of Duty Zombies Easter eggs, you have to do so many things in so many parts of the map. They're like weird things, like knife in the air, looking this specific direction. Like, it is obtuse. and it is long. It is the kind of stuff where a lot of people will just like shoot the legs off of a zombie in wave 1 and do it all in wave 1.
Sometimes you can't, though.
Yes, that is also true.
Mobs spawning. And sometimes you need to access parts of the game that require you to have more money, right? This right here for my folks at home. I know we have a video version on Spotify, so stop what you're doing and actually watch the
Look at
video
this
version
right
for
now.
a second, guys. This is the original fucking Call of Duty Black Ops that Santa Claus brought me when I was 14 years old. This bitch inside, I'm pretty sure, has a printed off fucking code for the old fucking things on that zombies map. These are the symbols that were on the map, and we made little things. Yeah, diamond, 3 dots, starburst, whatever, groove, capital T, Pokeball. We had a different, kind of like in TOA, how before they had before they had the plugin, we would call like
everybody had their own names.
Candy cane, Wumbo, knives, like shit like that. That's how we called that. This is what that was from the original Call of Duty Black Ops.
As a long time Destiny 2 player, hearing other people's call outs for like symbols and shit in raids was always my favorite thing.
God, man, this is a dusty for you dusties right here, dude. I was not expecting to whip this bitch out at any given time. This right here is actually a sheet that I had planned for a Minecraft creative world gauntlet challenge.
Damn.
And it is a 18 wave fight where I am in like admin god mode. And you just sort of like enter with a wooden or stone sword. And I'm in admin mode, spawning these various mobs, right? Spawning all these mobs manually. Cause like I don't know, like 15 years old. I didn't know how like redstone worked.
I don't even know if command blocks
spawning
existed
all this
at
stuff,
that point, you know? Like
I don't even know if they did.
Didn't.
Because this was dude, this is outdated, right? So I put a list of rewards on the back. And as a reward, because we all played on this world kind of regularly, I made an item called the Game Master's Sword, where it was just like a diamond sword with hella enchantments. And this is back when like old Minecraft was very different than what it looked like now. On the back of my sheet, or on the front of my sheet, I have a section here that says records, right? My buddy Kale completed the entire gauntlet run on June 2nd, 2013, 11 years ago. Following that immediately, my best friend Owen, who recently had his first baby, was the best man in this guy's wedding. He made it to wave 2.
Huge.
And wave 1 was 2 zombies, and wave 2 was 3 zombies. So he somehow managed to die.
That is impressive.
This band played Minecraft with me for hundreds of hours, and he somehow managed to die on wave 2. That is I don't know, man. There's a lot of good Easter eggs, but I think whipping this bad boy out live on the pod,
that's an IRL
I was not
Easter egg.
expecting to do that. That really is an IRL Easter egg. I was not expecting to do that today. But yeah, that's a good one. There's lots of good Easter eggs, man. It's
something where it's hard to like think of a lot of them because a lot of them aren't like super significant. You'll just like be playing a game and you'll just like see a thing and like, oh, that's a cool reference hidden away in this little corner.
But it just hits different sometimes, you know? Like sometimes when it's like a big homage, like Halo Reach. Do you guys remember in Halo Reach where you used to be able to like go out of bounds and find the Oni lab?
Oh yeah.
You could get into Halsey's lab and it had all the old Halo memorabilia in it. And it had stuff on like it was basically like Dr. Halsey writing about the Halo community as if they were all real. So the red versus blue section was like, this group of Spartans is rather curious. They don't do too much in this box canyon, but they just kind of sit around and talk all day or whatever it was. And it was just super cool how they did that back in the day. But yeah, any little like Oh my, but okay, can we agree that some Easter eggs can be super cringy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Any like "I am your father" reference kind of drives me insane.
Yeah.
Like when it's overused and really cliche, like
There are definitely some where it's like, all right, you're carbon dating yourself here, like a little too hard.
Toy Story is an offender of both a cringy Easter egg and an Easter egg that I personally think is really cool. So Toy Story 2 does that exact "I am your father" reference with Buzz and Zurg. And it's like, oh man, like even as a kid, I'm like, it's a little weird. The other one that I absolutely love in the very first Toy Story, or no, I think it's also Toy Story 2, actually. Holy shit, it's also Toy Story 2, where they're driving through the toy store, and Rex is chasing them. There's a very brief shot where it shows the rear view mirror of the Barbie car, and Rex is screaming, "Dinosaur overboard!" And there's on the little mirror, it says "Objects in mirror are closer than they appear," with Rex's mouth like coming towards the thing. And that's a shot for shot remake of that exact scene from Jurassic Park, which as a huge Jurassic Park fan, as a kid, I loved that one. I was like, that's fucking Jurassic Park. That's awesome.
I think honestly, movie Easter eggs are kind of cooler than game Easter eggs a lot of the time. I don't know what it is, but I
sometimes, if done correctly, yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe it's because I just haven't seen a lot of like the banger like game Easter eggs, but I feel like game Easter eggs a lot of the time are just like a little object somewhere, or like, you know, a piece of dialogue that is referencing something. Whereas movies will a lot of the time, I feel like, do that thing where they'll have like, because it is, you know, you can do a lot of these like shot for shot recreations. You can make it a lot more subtle for people that aren't in the know, and it'll just look like some normal thing that happens. But people that know will just be doing the soy jack face, like they'll know. So I don't know.
The recent game Easter egg that I've not experienced myself because I haven't cared to, but I've seen on YouTube quite a bit. In the Stardew Valley update 1.6, they released an Easter egg where you can do a combination of actions and get the Mjolnir sword from Terraria.
That's funny.
And it's got the Terraria art style too, in Stardew Valley. So you're holding this sword that looks a little weird.
Does it shoot out rainbow cats too?
First of all, I've never played Terraria.
I'm a huge
Terraria. I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I have like 2,000 hours in that game, and I still don't know how it's pronounced.
I feel some shit in this game, honestly. but yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten it yet because I have the Galaxy's Edge sword, and that's just like the best weapon in the game. So I've not gotten the Mjolnir, but I'm sure I will on the playthrough I have.
In Terraria, the Mjolnir is like near the end of the game. It's one of the items you get from like technically the final boss, and it swings super fast, and it shoots out cats with rainbow trails as projectiles. So I don't know if it does that.
I might have to. I don't think it does. It probably doesn't. No,
that sounds definitely out of place in Stardew Valley. But
I kind of have to get it now just to see. I kind of have to get it now just to see. Well, Modern Major General, that's an absolutely great question. The fact that I got to break out my old Black Ops case, that alone makes it worthwhile for me. But yeah, that is going to do it for the fun question, which also means that is going to do it for this episode. If you would like to send us a fun question, head over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL. If you are a patron, you can post it in the special Patreon-only Fun Questions channel. If you're not a patron, feel free to post it in the Xpwaste chat because sometimes people get some good discourse in there too. Or DM it to Michael if you'd like it to be a response. I say DM it to Michael because sometimes I don't even remember message requests exist. I don't have any right now, so I don't feel pressured to actually look at any of them, but sometimes I forget. So don't send it to me. Send it to Michael. You can also send us a postcard, 2376 something road, Texas. It'll be in the description of this episode. Michael has that memorized. I do not. I know the P.O. box is 2376 because when getting it, Michael said, do we want to get 2277 or do we want to get 2376? And I'm like,
forward thinking. I see.
It's absolutely forward thinking. So 2376, we did that for a reason. It doesn't have as nice of a ring as 2277 yet, but hopefully someday it will. So yeah. Swole says Hazlitt Road, Keller, Texas. Okay. Thanks for that save. Might be Hazlitt Road, TBH. But like I said, go check the description for that. Every link you will ever need for both Xpwaste and the world-renowned multi-award-winning podcast, the Guthix Rest Podcast. Those links will be in the description as well. Go follow BirdFacts specifically on Twitter. Go find him and follow him.
tweet so much. You're going to get so much value out of following
the shit posting on Bird's Twitter is absolutely immaculate. I know he didn't give us a bird fact this time, so maybe before we end this episode, before I tell you to go to our merch store, use code PRIDE for 15% off and a charity donation, and before I tell you to go head over to our Patreon if you like the content, see, Michael, I do know how to promote off me. I'm going to have Michael pretending to be BirdFacts give us a bird fact, and then we are going to close this episode out. Brother, what you got for us?
Okay, I feel bad saying this one because I can't remember if I said this one on our most recent recording of Guthix Rest or not, but I just think it's a cool fact. It's kind of brutal, so be ready for that. But I'm talking about golden eagles right now. These guys, I learned recently, are known for hunting mountain goats. And their strategy for hunting mountain goats is to wait until the mountain goats are doing that crazy thing where they're like basically on a vertical ledge, and then they just fly down and push them off. Just give them a little nudge. There they go, ragdolling down the cliff, and then they'll tumble down. They'll probably die. If they don't die, they will become severely injured. Now that eagle's got a free meal.
Bro, that shit.
It's crazy. I heard,
like, I knew golden eagles are big birds of prey, but like, holy shit.
It's crazy. I heard that fact and I was like, damn, that's cool. Because
that's like the super gory amped up equivalent of like sometimes crows put stuff in the road so cars drive over them. Like,
if you want another souped up amped one. A lot of people know that the peregrine falcon is the fastest creature on Earth. It kind of cheats because it uses gravity in order to dive really fast, and it goes like 300 miles an hour or whatever. But if you are a creature that can go at that fast, you can now use yourself as a projectile, and they do. They put their little talons into fists, and they will fly by creatures and just like punch them in the neck at like 200 miles an hour. Boom, dead.
Yep, I've seen that. Yep.
A lot of people know that one a lot more.
I feel like that's on planet Earth too. That's a good one.
But that is also a relevant
that's a good one
to that fact. I love those facts.
Maybe you can enlighten me specifically. Everyone else, you guys can go now. But I do have a question.
I can maybe answer it.
The term bird of prey, for some reason in my head, makes me think these birds are prey for other birds. I know that's not how it works, but why are they birds of prey and not predatory birds?
This is a question that I have also been curious about, and I believe I've looked it up a couple times, and I don't know that there is like a solid answer. I think it's one of those things that was like people called them that a long time ago, and the exact reason for it has been kind of lost to time. I'm going to look it up because I could be misremembering here. But it's kind of a hard thing to look up, I'm going to be honest. Where does the term come from?
Why call them bird of
prey?
I'm actually, why call them bird of prey?
Wow. Thank you, Google top result. They're often called birds of prey because they pursue or prey on other smaller animals and use them as a food source. Yeah, great. I know that. But like, why? Who decided this?
That doesn't help at all. That's I don't know. That's dumb.
I might have to do some research on this at some point because I think I also looked this up at one point. And
Cloud Kicker says Latin. Bird of prey is a translation of the medieval Latin Avis Praedae. I think that's how you say that. It may be a direct translation from Latin or derived from its French equivalent. This is going to be great.
This is a Sparry type beat.
Oisu de proi.
I know Sparry's super into like
French.
the origins of words and stuff because he was an English major at one point.
Huh. Cloud Kicker says he actually learned that in the ornithology class he took.
Dang, my ornithology class must have sucked because I never learned that.
That's sick as f***. Okay. So it's just a translation then. Because I never really get Shrek.
Listen, I always this is my go-to.
Kicker's the new
this is my go-to
now.
excuse because I don't know everything and I can't know everything. I am BirdFacts. I know many facts. I don't claim to know all of them. I am not all BirdFacts.
Bro, all right. Well, we got to close it there. He got out BirdFacted.
That is my continual cop out. I will always cop out that way.
Out BirdFacted. Cloud Kicker says in his defense, I don't know shit about and that is the quote we end this on. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in for this wild ride of an episode. We will be back next week with more pre-planned Xpwaste content for you guys. Until then, hopefully you guys have had a wonderful Father's Day weekend, whatever it is here in the United States, and we will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.